Legend of the game, Bill Dempsey, being part of our toss of the coin, along with Ross Campbell of the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia. Prosty engaging in the toss, and Bill Dempsey, well, what more can you say about this man who absolutely dominated Leederville Oval in his journey? Toss of the coin has been conducted. Declan Mountford, Dean Munns gets the honour of involved in this one. And now we try and break it down with our lineups and our selections before we get stuck into a 3 o'clock bounce down. And couldn't have asked for a better prelude when you look at the reserves, a 6-point result, a 2-point game in the Colts. What will we see here? Will Schofield, let's run through this West Perth lineup.
Always a very strong side across the midfield. Black in there. You'll see guys go through there, Meadows, Nelson, and they'll rotate heavily to get the game going their way. They want to get lots of inside 50s and really dominate the coalface in the middle of the ground, and that's how they'll win this game. That's how they've played for most of the season. I don't know how you boys see it going, but that's where the game's going to be won and lost, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't agree anymore with you, Scully, and looking at that. I like Ryan Lim out on the wing, Bolton at half-back. It's just something different than what they've done in the past. And, of course, Bailey Rogers, Sandover, winner there. And keep an eye on number 8, Ben Edwards. I'm a big fan of Ben Edwards. He's fast. He's an explosive runner. Yeah, he's a little bit wayward by foot sometimes, but he's great to watch.
Yes, players getting into position. Gives us a chance to head downstairs, check in with Tyson Beattie for some last-minute news, boundary side on this grand final, the WAFL 2022.
Oh, Skeet, it's very hot down here at ground level, close to 27 degrees near bounce down. Probably the hottest day for the whole waffle year. That could favour West Perth with the 13-day break, but it didn't in the Colts, so who knows. The turf is looking fantastic, absolutely perfect, the footing, so no dramas at all there. About 14,000 now in the ground, a historic figure. The biggest crowd before this, 1993, the last home game that West Perth played here. So it's an historic occasion today. Should be a magnificent grand final, Skeet.
Thank you, Tyson. And of course, 1915 to 1993 was this the home to West Perth. Selections down the line, gentlemen.
Well, I'm going Claremont and Edwards for the medal.
Okay, there you go. I'm going Claremont as well. Are we all on Claremont?
No, well, there you go, Dave.
Yeah, I'm with the Tigers as well.
Well, I'll be one out in West Perth, considering you three have just decided to become the band of brothers. But we're just about set. We've got Will Schofield, Xavier Ellis to keep a close eye on early matchups. We know these sides have battled a couple of times this year. Aaron Black, Shane Nelson, hoping to make it premierships after more than a decade almost, has teammates. The home of football to finish off 2022 is Leederville Oval. It's West Perth and Claremont. A buzz around the area, and no more so than in this ground as we get ready for the Falcons and the Tigers, the grand final for 2022.
So all on the line for these two great clubs. Umpire Cam Jones in his first league grand final gets us underway. That's Ukic and Eastland. Eastland just getting it down towards Lynch of West Perth. It spills out the back. Ryan Lim, it'll be hot early inside the centre circle. Ukic feeds one out the back to Pearce. He's tackled by Rogers, tackled high.
Got the free kick, got away with one there because he did fumble it initially. Rogers just came in too hard, too high, free kick.
Short pass is dangerous. Manier was onto it in a flash. Gets intercept mark and then puts Claremont inside 50. Good long kick. Jack Buller in position A. Takes a great grab. No, not paid. Ball comes to the ground. West Perth take it away, and the clearing kick gets to Dobson at half-back.
That's a mark every day of the week, I'm sorry, but finals footy, that's paid.
Yeah, the umpire sitting next to us, they may have had a second look at that. Anyway, the ball's been transferred up to Rundle, 20-year-old, playing just his third league game. That's an interesting ball through the middle, but it works out okay for Moulton. So the Falcons to get their first entry. It's Keitel territory. It's Keitel mark. No, again, almost could have been paid. And they're consistent, Will. That's the main thing. It'll be a ball up, but rightfully both players could have had claims.
That's one. We'll call it 1-1 now. There's Keitel, strong overhead.
I reckon they're both marks for mine.
Restart. Just outside the goal square. Off the deck. Going. There's Meadows. And he's just missed. Second to the Sandover, 23 votes. He's got some great weapons off the deck that time, not to be.
West Perth transitioned the ball nicely and quickly through the middle of the ground there, but a couple of risky options early. So Claremont bring it out now.
Bolton bounces his kick to Lim at half-back. Looks at the options. There was a couple of Tigers there. The kick slips through the hands for West Perth. Gordon dropping the mark. In comes Smallwood to get Claremont inside 50. Buller comes at the footy again once more. Can't take it. Opportunity for Manuel deep in the pocket. Bending it around the left to go right to the goal line. And Johnson helps it through for Claremont's first score. Minor scores at both ends.
I think we better enjoy the up and down free-flowing football because it's 28 degrees and sure enough the fuel tank will be empty sooner rather than later. As West Perth looking to get one in here, might just be the safe option to the bigs.
Johnson hits a corridor. No sense of conservatism there. Ends up in the hands of Buller. Shorts it. Good ball. Claremont get their first gilt-edged chance directly in front. 45 out. Sandover medalist Bailey Rogers.
That's the third option West Perth have taken that's risky, and I just think finals footy in a grand final, play the percentages early, get it going your way. Claremont take advantage of this, and Bailey Rogers has a big chance to get his side off the board early.
We were here for the earlier game, Will, and there was a breeze just wafting, so it's not as easy a set shot as perhaps you'd look on the TV. So Bailey Rogers has kicked 22 goals, 13 this year. So a mid who's pushed forward with success for the first score of the grand final. The umpire heading well to his right-hand side.
It's a frisky breeze, isn't it? We have seen in the earlier games. It didn't really favour either end. It was just an annoyance for set shot kicking.
West Perth, 17 weeks inside the top 2 this season, aiming for premiership number 20 in their club's history. The Tigers going for their 13th flag. Here's Rogers again. Tackled by the surprise inclusion Hinder. Good pressure. Ball out of bounds on the full.
Joe Hinder played his footy at Swan Districts. Lightning quick over 100. Probably would be the fastest man on the field today.
So Tyson Moulton to bring it back in. Look at that packed bank.
It's good to see.
Glory days of Leederville Oval coming back this afternoon. Rogers getting involved again for Claremont. Squeezes a kick forward. Goes straight through the path of England. Hinder first back onto it. Tries to squeeze a hand pass out, misses the target. Mania gives it away. The Tigers get it inside. Little tap from Spivey. Was that a high tackle? Yes, it was. Smallwood taken high, and Claremont will get another shot on goal early.
Zave, how did you see that? I thought he did pretty well to keep the arm down. He was coming in at pace there.
I think sometimes things just look more vicious. Yeah, that's high. I'm paying that.
Okay.
I think that is fair enough. I mean, it was a tough contest.
Smallwood.
Tyron Smallwood
He was good in the prelim.
one of 13 Claremont players out there today that played in the grand final 2 years ago. Anton Hamp also played in that game. He's playing for West Perth today. A small forward for Claremont. 26 goals, 10 for the year. Distance will be no issue. The angle shouldn't be, but he's hooked it to the left, and some early nerves for Claremont in front of goals. 3 behinds already.
There's early nerves on both sides, I think. West Perth are butchering the footy early. They're not using the ball well. There might be a breeze out there, but I don't think they've started the way they would have liked, and Claremont can't take the most of their opportunities.
Moulton from the back pocket to Nelson. 205th game, 27 disposals against East Fremantle in the second semi-final. Up to the wing. Edwards couldn't control it. Eastland didn't get much on his boot. Hand the ball up. I think we do have to give some latitude for kicking a goal today because of that breeze. It's swirling and it's difficult, and I suppose those that adjust the better will thrive. Another contested footy situation on that outer side.
It means whoever can kick them, though, Skeet, they're more crucial than they usually are, because they're going to be difficult to come by at either end today.
What a spectacle. Leederville Oval on this Saturday afternoon. O'Connor, Lim, over the top was Meadows. Edwards went a little crudely, it looked like, but no whistle on the play, and a ball up on the outer side. But this has the makings of a very tight grand final.
Tigers have won the 2 previous meetings this year between these sides, back in round 1 by just 4 points, Claremont, and then round 13 they played some exhilarating football at Tigerland, winning by 29.
It's not very often a team comes in off a 6-day break into a grand final too.
The warm conditions won't help that either, as Nelson gets the clearance for West Perth. Bolton playing off half-back as he has done the last couple of weeks. Hurried kick forward, Manuel the target, stood up under pressure from Moulton, but Moulton's recovery was okay. Then he overruns the football, becomes the tackler. England to Rogers. Rogers pokes a kick very wide into the pocket. Buller with Pecoraro for company. The ball stays in. Claremont keeping it alive inside their attacking 50. They've had the majority of field position in the first few minutes, but nothing really to show on the scoreboard.
Bolton, Rogers has been prolific early. 4 touches, been right at the coalface.
Restart, Meadows. Had a look at it. Off the outside of the boot. Kick by Lynch. Down the line, boundary looming. And there's Keegan Knott bobbing up a long way up the ground.
Fan favourite, Keegan Knott. Every single year there's a goal of the year or a mark of the year or something.
It's difficult to play on Keegan Knott.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Here's a throw in. Jukic, what a story he is. Of course, 200 centimetres, 99 kilos. What a lump of a lad. 14 games this year. Up to the wing. Ball still in dispute. Dobson will gather and kick a high ball. Bolton will come from a long way back. And the only man who really attacked it with vigour has the footy.
Free kick.
In fact, the free kick's been coughed up here. And it's going to be a West Perth ball. Goes to Lynch. Left half forward. Keitel, a deep entry. Kernich there. Plenty of Tigers at the back. And Bolton can mop up the Tigers to repel.
His hands on the football, Jai Bolton. 4 Simpson medals, 3 of those in state games and 1 in Clermont's most recent grand final. But he's turned this one over and Keitel has it where he started.
The 1-2 there with Bolton, it actually hurt Claremont. There was no need to give it back. They had a Claremont player out in the open side. By the time they got it back, it was covered.
Kicks to the pocket. Plenty of navy blue jumpers there, and Tim House, the other player that's moved into defence in recent weeks, taking the mark.
Been an inspired move, hasn't
Yeah, it's not too often too you see so late in the season key players moving into these positions.
They lost Miller, didn't they, in that qualifying final? So he was the one that's been shifted from one into the other. And Bolton's the other one who's just providing a bit of drive off half back. There's not too many options down the field as yet, so he shares it with House. He's got Mountford alongside him as well. But West Perth have covered the exits, and there's not a lot of movement up the field here from Claremont just yet. House will go back to the goal square for Davis. It's not 15, so forced to move it on quickly. Kicks to a contest. Buller arriving. Pecoraro over the top of the spoil. To the front of the pack, England towards Smallwood. Being hassled by Johnson. West Perth win it away. Not towards full forward. In good position back there. Davis makes a good spoil back with the flight. There's still a chance, West Perth. Dobson throws his boot at the ball. But didn't get much on it. Trickles away for a boundary throw-in, but this time it's West Perth. The boundary throw-in.
After that, Bolton got away with one there. That's high.
Still waiting for a first goal, almost 10 minutes in. West Perth into attack. Keitel, Eastland, the ladder with hands on it. O'Connor, Meadows, Keitel in the pocket. Black, really tough angle. Ball still alive. Kernich, what can he do here? Bolton, here's Knott around the body, misses. And that was tailor-made for Keegan Knott, but he can't hit the target, so 5 behinds between these two clubs in the opening 10 minutes.
This is a grand final, Zabe. That first 10 minutes, it's hot and heavy. You can start to see the boys settling down a little bit now.
They're messy games notoriously too. Kicking's usually a bit scrappy, as we've seen.
Bolton straight at the middle to Hardesty, feeds it back, gets it to Mountford, measures his kick to England, and then short again towards Manuel. Just waited for the footy. It was knocked away from him, but straight back to Cal England. Sends it out wide. Ollie Eastland has it across the body with the left. Drops in short. Coming up to meet the footy, Mania. Kicked a couple of goals last week.
Spare Claremont players.
Rogers on the lead. Marks on the chest. He started very well, Bailey Rogers.
Had 2 almost at the top of the square, but it was a
long
big kick.
Yeah, it was. Rogers has started really well, coming for his 5th disposal.
It's gone forward.
Of which will be all kicks, but he's going at 0% by foot. So
Can't get much worse than that.
if he misses this, the poor bugger's going to stay on 0. It's not an easy kick.
So he's missed one already. Best of 3 goals this year against South Fremantle. But this is a tough kick. Breeze probably pushing it left to right. And deep in the pocket. Doesn't strike it well at all. It drifts across the face. Mania the target in the end, but marked in front by West Perth. And the Falcons through Pecoraro can save the day.
Pecoraro, back pocket. Black. Averaging 24 disposals a game this year, 237th game. Watch out, Carter, good tackle. Not rewarded. Lynch did pretty well just to hold things up.
Smucking around with the football though, Skeet. It's not grand final football, it's just counting your numbers, that sort of stuff. Once you're out, you're out.
Jukic at the spill. Kick out of congestion by Pearce, who
Paid it.
turns 26 on Tuesday. In the pocket, mark taken. Claremont are pressing again, and they get the opportunity through Manuel in the pocket, 35 out. And that was a tough kick for Rogers. Not sure Manuel's got any more
He is uncanny, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is uncanny.
He's a finisher. Difficult pocket, though. We saw the last kick go straight across the face, so if he's going to kick it, he's going to have to start it probably out of bounds and bend it back across the face.
It might be a missed kick and it will go through, but he is uncanny.
His numbers are good this year, 28-12.
He's a good player.
But this is a low percentage kick. And it's missed. Will Schofield raised his eyebrows at me momentarily. He had a pretty good look at it as well.
It's usually good to watch the players behind the goals there, Skeeter, and a couple of them went up.
They did go up.
Well done.
Haven't seen a player signal a goal yet, Skeet.
So it's Johnson to bring it back in for West Perth. Coming to the grandstand side and then trying to tuck it down the middle, and he strikes it beautifully. Hinder on the dash, shrugs a tackle to Nelson, back to Hinder, wants to take another tackler on and then turns it over. Edwards for the Tigers now, under a lot of pressure, doesn't get much on the kick. West Perth through the middle now, Nelson sidesteps one. There's a runner breaking out wide, that's Lynch. Has to wait for the footy and takes the mark. Played every game this year, Conal Lynch, one of 6 Falcons to do so. Inside to Pearce. And then a short pass to the leading player, and it's the youngster, Corey Rundle. Made his debut in round 20. Talk about timing and run perfectly. Playing in a grand final already.
It's risky football by West Perth. They took it on through the middle of the ground. There's a scrimmage, Claremont and West Perth, and they end up getting it forward. Risk-reward footy.
Coming into today, 2 goals straight for the season. He's directly in front. Still looking for the game's first goal kicker. Can it be the youngster Rundle? It looks good. They're celebrating early this time. It's the Falcons at last, first on the board.
It was a beautiful kick by Mitchell Pearce as Corey Rundle coming up the middle of the ground. A big full forward, had a lot of space to work in and then really got behind it. It looks like the wind's going down that way and West Perth kicks the first goal of the game.
Yeah, it's confusing. He travelled 50 metres, no drama, so maybe both sides get a reasonable look.
The 20-year-old strikes the first blow. Out of the middle they go. And a fend-off was successful by Lynch. Inside 50. Awkward ball, not taken down. Loses kick, run down. West Perth pressure through the roof. Rundle for 2 in a minute. Off the right boot. The 20-year-old has done it again. And the Falcons have 2 in the space of 60 seconds.
The evolution of football, the small forwards just put so much pressure on there. There's a huge smother. Rundle picks it up. Welcome to grand final footy. Straighten. How are you going? There's 2 in a minute.
No stage fright from him.
No, after a sketchy start, though, West Perth looked nervous. They're into the groove now. 2 goals up on Claremont. Claremont will need the next goal to really stay in this game.
There is the windsock. Not really showing much evidence of a strong breeze out there at the moment. But West Perth with the first 2 of the game. They kicked the first 2 in the Colts.
In a minute.
Went a little bit south after then, unfortunately for the Falcons. It's been a tough day for them. Losing the reserves this morning and then the Colts in the middle of the day. But they've started brightly in the league. And they might get the clearance again here through Pearce. Bouncing kick went straight over the shoulder of Knott. Mountford's under pressure when he collects this one. Taken to ground in a strong tackle, and West Perth are certainly up for the fight right now.
Certainly are. It's funny, once you get the goal, then 2 goals, and all of a sudden you're just walking so much taller, and then Claremont start to feel the pinch a little bit. You certainly don't want to give 3 in a row away.
Starts to play on their minds that they've had a few opportunities up forward. 4 behinds for Claremont in the opening 10 minutes of the game. You need an early goal as a settler in a grand final. They haven't had it yet.
Absolutely.
Another restart. Eastland wins it down. Black with a quick kick. Fisted away by Martinez. He'll get the ball back. Ducking out of a tackle. Hand pass to Smallwood, who's spun in the tackle. Umpire watches for a long time. Both teams calling for free kicks. Nothing doing. We'll see a ball up.
Let's head downstairs. Tyson with an update on the weather conditions, particularly the wind there, TB.
Yeah, it's blustery. It's a south-southeasterly, but it's gusting that's the problem. It gets up to about 35 k's an hour. It's actually favouring the northern end, the Claremont end. But when it doesn't gust at all, there's really no advantage whatsoever, guys.
What I've worked out is that goals equate to energy. A team kicks a goal, the energy levels...
On a hot day.
Absolutely. And West Perth have a couple already on the board. But hard-fought footy through the middle. Alexandra wrapped up.
Just thinking about Aaron Black. Hasn't he had a journey this year?
AFL.
Of AFL, the champion of the waffle.
So too Declan Mountford, of course. They played together in the same team on the same day. And now they're captains opposing each other. Smallwood. Gee, the pressure's great. There's another captain involved. Oh, Munns. Bolton might have taken a high blow there. Black, beautiful ball. Hand and the ball spitted away from him. Not brings it to ground. Now he gathers, ducked the head, gone. Holding the ball, easy decision. A Claremont free kick.
Bolton's up, he's fine.
Pressure footy.
Good tackle from Lucy just when it was needed.
Tough tackle, wasn't it?
Seeing Keegan not turn a few defenders inside out in that exact situation. Lucy wasn't buying it, of course not. Also a former Tiger alongside Anton Hamp. Two ex-Claremont players playing against their team today in a grand final. Manuel, hurried kick forward. Johnson leads in the race to the footy. Just cleverly worked it away towards the boundary. And then even more clever, stepping over, making sure that that one's going to be a stoppage.
And of course a coach involved somewhere along the line as well, Dave.
Certainly. He actually played the last time these two teams met at Leederville Oval, would you believe? 1993. Darren Harris played on this ground. The Falcons won by a point on that day. They went on to lose the grand final to Claremont. And there's some names that played on that day. We'll get to that a bit later. This will be holding the ball. We'll go West Perth's way. They'll have a free kick at half back.
Darren Harris will be delighted with the pressure. Nelson to the wing. Bolton intervenes, knocks it away from Hamp.
See the big names all involved early. Aaron Black with 6 touches, Shane Nelson with 5 leading West Perth, and Jai Bolton and Bailey Rogers on top with 8 and 6 apiece for Claremont.
Eastland opposed to Keitel. No contest, Keitel doesn't compete. Eastland sends it high. And Alexandra on his chest takes the mark. They've had their chances, Claremont, going forward, but they look a little bit rocked by those 2 goals. They shouldn't be. Keitel couldn't quite hang on. Pearce dishes it out. Dobson was involved. Bolton is racking up some numbers down back. Across to Lucy. Gives it some air. In the Buller direction. On the deck, Dobson keeps it in. Was there high contact? Yes, free kick. And a bit of push and shove at the end of all that, but it will be a West Perth ball as Alexandra, it still hasn't moved. So maybe it was more severe than initially thought.
In a bad way. Here's the replay.
Shoulder to the jaw by the looks of things. It wasn't a vicious...
I think he tried to knock him out, I think, but he's up to his feet now, but it certainly was high. 7 inside 50s apiece too early.
So it's recovered well enough to take the kick. Sets it up towards half forward. Keitel playing from behind this time. Eastland works it to ground. Ball spits out the back. Meadows, runner up in the Sandover during the week. Gives off the hand pass. They'll lose it though, West Perth. Buller, dangerous hand pass back towards his offensive goal. The Falcons soccer it further forward. Hamp there, but Lim beat him to it. Hamp was up to the challenge with the tackle. Ball up deep in attack again for West Perth.
Forward 50 tackling, a highlight for West Perth so far. When they've got it in there, they've put the pressure on to keep Claremont under pressure and force turnovers.
Already laid 21 tackles, West Perth.
Jack Buller doing the ruck work for Claremont. Down towards Declan Hardesty. Gets it out of there quickly. Hangs in the breeze. Manuel has it knocked away from him. West Perth seem to have the extra numbers here, although Manuel slaps it further forward for Claremont. Little fumble from Johnson, then tackled high. Claremont's tackling, just leaving a little bit to be desired. They've given away 3 or 4 high tackle free kicks in the early stages.
Especially when the pressure's on, you don't want to give them the easy out, and they've done that.
Hinder. Ball hangs a little while in the air, but West Perth able to set things up nicely now. Just trying to find that ball inside 50. Munns, not quite for not. House was there. Here's Lucy. Rogers will have to be very good. He's got 2 to beat. Ground level. What's he got? Tries to muscle his opponent, Pecoraro, who played it brilliantly. Got it away. Found his teammate in Rotham. And now it's into the arms of Anton Hamp. That was terrifically played by...
Had to keep his feet, didn't he, Skeet? Go to ground there, you're in all sorts.
West Perth controlling the contest. The scoreboard only reads a 10-point differential. Up to the 50. Ball on the deck. Kerner. Dangerous. Mountford. Lucy. Martinez. This kick has to be precise. Will hinder. A terrible bounce. Use of the body by Nelson was good. Dobson worried out of it. Nelson goes to ground. He feigns to try and release the ball, but the umpire says no prior.
I think Claremont just need to get their hands on the footy and just try and take a couple of marks, able to sting out of it, because West Perth are absolutely loving the ability to get after a live football and pressure.
Clean possession from Buller in the ruck. Spivey towards half forward. No mark taken, but England doing the roving was good. Swings a hand pass inside, needs to be precise. Socket further forward. Ben Elliott onto the footy, still hassling his opponent. Wins the footy in the end. About to be tackled, goes to ground. Hand pass off to Lim from a standing start. Sends it long, but it drifts and hits the top of the goalpost. They still can't find the opening, the Tigers.
Yeah, zipping 5. Tough shots, though, I will say, most of them. I mean, that's a launch from outside 50. Good pressure, though. Claremont.
Moulton off the left. It's a little ugly. How about sit? In trouble. There's Hobley. Released the hand pass. Spivey near the boundary line. And you're right, the tackling pressure of West Perth's been elite.
I certainly don't think they're going to make a montage out of this game so far from kick-ins, how to do a kick-in properly. They've been shanking him left, right and centre.
Some helicopters coming out from full-backs, though.
Flower bags.
Jukic has got the wristbands on, sweatbands. Buller, hands on it. Oh, little head to, knee to the head for Elliott. Umpire didn't penalise it.
It's a tough brand of footy early.
Yeah, I would say, you know, West Perth pressure's been good, but Claremont's still matching them at the contest.
Gee, it was untidy, to say the least. Here's Meadows. Mountford with him. Little toe poked up to the wing. Lucy was there. Keitel lost possession. Again, the contest from West Perth is terrific, and Knott is the player who stops his opponent in the tracks.
Lucy just got the small frame for Claremont, but he straight lines it.
A lot of players around the fall of this footy, and it spills out West Perth's way. Hinder with the sidestep. Straightens up and kicks long. Turns the defence around. Pressure on Claremont back here. Dobson back with the flight, has plucked it. Fantastic mark. And Mitch Dobson, who crossed from East Perth in the off-season, can go back and line up for West Perth's third.
Only had eyes for the footy as well. It's difficult to keep your position there as that forward coming back into a defender who's in a better position, but he just put his eyes on the footy and said, that's mine.
Yeah, very talented player. Very talented player. We saw some real highlights at East Perth throughout his career there. He'd love to win a premiership today.
Played every game this year and kicked 21 goals with a kick after the siren. Mitch Dobson threads it through for another one. And it's a perfect start for West Perth at their spiritual home ground in the grand final for 2022. They kicked the only 3 goals of the game to lead by 15 points at quarter time.
Talk about taking your chances in a grand final. The first quarter, Tigers couldn't buy one. The Falcons have 3, and as Dave said, they're right in the box seat. Early days, though, of 2022 Waffle Grand Final. He kicked 2 in the opening term. The Falcons have a handy buffer, 3-2 to 5 behind. Claremont have had some opportunities in front of goal. Breeze a bit tricky, but you have to take those chances.
Yeah, I just think there, you look at the clearances, 13-3. That's not good enough if you're Claremont. That's brilliant stuff by West Perth, and the tackles, 28-19. I think we'd all agree up here in the box. The pressure by West Perth has been fantastic.
It has, but it's 5 scoring shots each, so I think it's still an even game somewhat. Claremont need to get on the ball with goals, clearly, but I don't think they go in at quarter time and think the game's over.
92.9 Triple M sounds of the game. O to be in the Claremont huddle. Let's have a listen.
That's not us. It's the 3 things we talked about at the start of the game. It was locating in transition, and pressing at them at all times. They like to chip the ball around, don't they? Yeah. They give you little sniffs because they'll chip. But you can't. Everyone can't fold back, otherwise they'll cut us up. Yeah. But you got to be harder on the body in there. It's pretty ordinary, I reckon. Yeah. We can turn it around. They prove to us that you can score into the breeze. Yeah. But I reckon we need to be a little bit bolder when we've got the ball. Yeah. A bit more quicker. Yeah. We're too slow on our offensive transition. Hey, good turn it around, don't we?
Be bold, be brave at the Tigers. What about at the Falcons? Tyson Beattie is with the coach.
First term, you must be really happy with the pressure your side played on.
Yeah, I think our pressure's been really good,
our ability to get repeat stoppage, put pressure on around the contest, but our ability to press and keep the heat on's been really good. We probably got let off the hook with some accuracy early in the quarter, but to be able to bounce back against that breeze and kick a couple was really good.
And you're winning that clearance count. How much is that helping you isolate your key forwards?
Yeah, I think Big Uke's been fantastic, and our boys around the footy, so it'll be interesting to see what they throw at us.
Thanks for your time, Darren.
Thank you.
Darren Harris, coach of West Perth. I mentioned Troy Ukic, averaging 34 hitouts this season, ex-Swan Districts, and he's got the job against Ollie Eastland here as we get ready for this second term. And Claremont with all the questions at their feet. Big crowd, Falcons' spiritual home, but Claremont, will we see something from them as we jump into our second quarter, brought to you by Amy.
Fascinating that both coaching groups spoke about the breeze favouring the left of screen, which is the way West Perth will kick in this quarter. They'll kick the only 3 goals of the first term. So the task ahead of Claremont. They had 10 goals on the board 3 minutes into the third quarter last week against East Fremantle. They didn't kick another goal last week, and they've gone goalless through the first quarter. So it's a long, long time between drinks for the Tigers. And West Perth, through Ukic, will hold it up for a repeat stoppage again. 15 points the quarter-time lead in the grand final of 2020. The Falcons, top of the table in all 3 grades. Looking to see if they can convert the final of those 3 into a premiership. Ball in dispute on the wing, and it's Black laying it off to Pearce. Got pushed as he kicked. Umpire says it's okay. Play it on. Turn it over the football, dragged off it. Claremont on hands and knees. Comes back towards the Tigers in Smallwood. Spills out again. Black leaves it for his mate in Nelson. And they'll go inside 50 again, the Falcons. A couple of Tigers fly, waiting down Lim. Looks to the open side, not much on just yet, so he kicks for distance. Set to task for Jason Carter. The ball sits up nicely for him.
Great run.
He's got some speed, Carter, and he kicks it well. Going boundary side for Buller. I reckon he'd be happy enough with the boundary throw in right in between the interchange gates for West Perth.
That was outstanding run by Carter. There's nothing for Lim to go to then, and he worked his backside off there for 80 metres to provide an option and then get a kick in.
If he was a galloper in the mounting yard, you wouldn't touch him with your money, but gee, he moved well there.
Taped up, but flew.
A little win there for the Tigers out of defence. Ukic, Eastland, his Lim, about to be shut down immediately. Did he have Pryor? Rundle able to cause some havoc in there. He's had a really good start to this one.
Big differential in hit-outs. Claremont 17-4, but clearances 13-4 in favour of West Perth. So West Perth aren't getting their hands on it first at the ruck hit-out, but the clearance work is much better than Claremont's at the moment.
Sharking him, obviously, aren't they?
Yep.
Margin 15 points. Afternoon cooling a fraction after a very warm start to the day. Eastland crouching. Tackle was terrific again. The pressure that they've applied on the ball carry has been outstanding, West Perth.
Ukic, the big ruckman, gone with the Ryan Crowley double wristbands.
Yep.
He's done it for a long time, for years.
Good.
Out of the stoppage, Lynch. Inside 50 ball. Lucy flew. Kernet knocks it on cleverly. House has to be good. Attacked the contest, did exceptionally well. A clearing kick's a beauty. Absolutely outstanding to Bailey Rogers.
Well done from the big fella House. Dodgy kick though from Rogers. Hinder was onto it in a flash. Now he applies the tackle on Bolton. Thrown to ground heavily after losing the footing. Then the fight continues as West Perth send it goalward. It's off target, but it does bounce inside the field of play. They'll get a stoppage deep in attack.
Strong by Hinder. He nailed Bolton and then slammed him to the ground and then let him know about it. Hinder, only a small fella. A lot of power.
Jono Griffin, one of the coaches for Claremont, down on the bench, watching on. The fist goes towards goal for West Perth. Almost an opportunity. Carter well tackled this time. He's going nowhere. And as Darren Harris said, at quarter time, very happy with the repeat stoppages.
Claremont like to play a very free-flowing, smooth game. They're not getting that at the moment. Keitel, should he have been penalised? Around the body, Meadows. No.
Oh.
No.
He swears he's kicked it too.
It was the reaction of the player as opposed to the reaction of the umpire. If he'd moved back to the middle of the goal square, you knew it was trouble for the Tigers, but they dodged one there as West Perth look awfully dangerous.
Jai Bolton to do the kicking in for Claremont. Chips a pass, measures it well, gets it to Mountford. Tigers skipper drills it in low. Cal England pushing up from half forward to receive. They're cutting through the middle. Declan Hardesty, or Jared Hardesty I should say, right on the centre line, wants to play on with a hand pass. He was almost asking for Bolton to run past to receive that time. Flares the kick out wide. Buller's got some work to do, collects it well. That hand pass was rather hopeful. West Perth a bit too strong in the contest. Pecoraro trying to clear a path for a teammate. Now England has it for Claremont again. Bolton to set something up. Brilliant diving smother. Rotham was the man. Forces the turnover. Bolton comes back and fights a good draw in the end. We'll get another stoppage.
Cleaned up that mess. Bolton there. Just had to get it in. I think that's Claremont's best opportunity against the slight breeze. Fantastic smother. I just think it's got to go quickly. 55 metres. We saw in the Colts game as well. Just get it in there early. Give them a chance.
Yeah, the simple method. Eastland, Hobley, jams it on the boot. Fist came from Hardesty at the spill. Keitel in the Kernett direction. Big ball to be won here. House goes to ground. Spivey tries to dig it out. Hardesty over it. Somehow Pearce got involved. Moulton and Smallwood. Here's a contest. Moulton goes to ground. Smallwood outstanding. Did terrifically well. Around his body, Rotham sets himself. Pack collapses. No mark. Martinez went down in the tackle. Wasn't penalised. Elliott scoots clear. Near the boundary line. Has to be precise with a footy. And England was there, but terrific defensive work by Alexandra. And once again, Claremont's forward sortie comes to naught.
I know there's a difference on the scoreboard. I really do think both sides come to play here today. There's no one really winning this arm wrestle. There's great pressure from both sides. This is grand final footy.
It's all about taking those opportunities up forward. Claremont missed theirs in the first. West Perth have missed one early in the second. Claremont need to take one soon. Goalless 6 minutes into the second quarter of the grand final.
21-4, these hit-outs favouring Claremont. They need to really start to connect a bit better than what they have been.
Jukic wins a rare hit-out this time. Straight to a teammate who's drilled into the ground. We'll get another stoppage.
Is that communication, Dave? What is it?
Oh, I think that, yeah, you're probably not working out too well, but of course Jai Bolton's not there, who spent so many years in that midfield being the hit-to sort of guy. I think just maybe get in early and work out exactly who wants it, where you're going to hit it, get it going forward. If anything else, then you can at least punch it forward, try and get a bit of momentum going in your direction. But that's a domination, 22-5 now. At least get the ball going in your direction.
It'll be fascinating to see when Ash Prescott decides to swing Bolton onto the ball, if he does at all. As Gordon gets the clearing kick for West Perth. Clears the zone. Dobson gets rid of his opponent, shins it forward, gains 30 metres. Clever from Keitel, slapped it over the shoulder and collects. Gets it inside 50 any way he can. Lim under a lot of pressure here. Bad bounce for him. It was okay for Carter. Played as a defensive forward. Last week he's too slow. Kernett got him. Somehow got a hand pass away. Lim's kick towards the boundary. It stays inside the field of play. Smallwood might want this to go out. Fighting a battle here against Munns, and in the end, the pair of them see it over. Jason Carter thought he had a lot more time than he had.
He was just moseying out. He had no options in front, which is why he tried to bounce. It didn't come back to him. Got the handball, though. It was good umpiring.
The pressure that West Perth's applying, I'm not sure Claremont at the moment have an answer to it. Bolton, Eastland. A goal would be handy. Mania, full chest and takes the mark. It's a one-on-one. Rogers up the ground. Couldn't quite hang on. Pressure was good from Moulton. At the spill, Lynch, Alexandra. Eases it wide. There's a couple to choose from. Awkward bouncing ball that Meadows will feed Kernett. He'll go straight into Bolton and then wrapped up in a tackle. The whistle is blown. In fact, yes, stoppage. Forward of the wing. West Perth attacking in. Jukic to Pearce. Did well. Smother was great from Eastland. They get a second chance. Hobley, bouncing ball. And Keegan Knott plays the percentages, gets a stoppage, and a little territory win for the Falcons.
Third time these clubs have met in a grand final. They've split the previous ones 1-1. 1993, the most recent. Claremont, Dale Kickett was the Simpson medalist on that day. The late Quentin Leach, alongside Danny Southern, playing for the Tigers on that afternoon. Todd Curley, the coach of South Fremantle, was playing for West Perth on that afternoon. Darren Harris. Shocking footy there. Claremont under pressure again. Elliott just gets away with it.
They're out
Worked
here.
out well. Here's a chance for England. He's got Edwards running by. He decides to ignore him. Spins out of trouble. Kicks well to Smallwood. 50 out from goal. Tigers streaming inside 50. Slow footy. Edwards squeezes it over the top. They're going to run out of it here. West Perth have worked back and won the football. Rotham in the end with a clearing kick to a contest on the wing. And Claremont have made an absolute meal of that one.
Bamford goes again. Hits the target in Edwards. 60 out. Can they be more precise? Martinez, short ball. England. He feigned for the free kick. Umpire was having nothing of it. Clearing kick by the Falcons. Back to the middle. And it's a brick wall as far as Claremont's concerned. House, Eastland. Great dexterity as he goes off the left. Gets plenty of good purchase on that as well. But what's there? Nort.
Poor spot to kick it to.
Pecoraro.
Going inside 50 as well. They certainly need to go deeper. They're trying to hit these lead-ups at 40, 45 metres out. It's not good enough. It's a tough kick. You put it to the top of the goal square and see if you can get a crumb. West Perth are finding this too easy.
It's been end-to-end stuff the last 5 or 6 minutes. Great mark in the contest. Aidan Lynch. Came across from East Perth with Dobson, having started his career at West Perth. Hold the play on now. Very short with his kick. Gets it to his brother, Conal.
Just heard the effects might control. So that's an absolute mongrel flower bag. But they're trying to control the footy here, take a bit of sting out of the game.
Johnson now. Certainly some heat in the weather today, but also in the football. Alexandre in the shadows.
There's only one thing that can happen doing this, though. You're asking for trouble.
Decided to load up this time. Goes longer. Lucy in best position. Marks on his chest. And what will Claremont do? They'll go fast. Short little pass. Edwards at centre-half back.
Yeah, it feels like a West Perth controlled game. It's 16-point margin. They just need to kick their first, which is easier said than done. West Perth win it back. Rundle. Punched forward. Hinder. Those young legs. He's got 2 to beat. And House surely conceding. And does. That's something that Claremont doesn't appear to have going forward. Just that ground level, scurry, dangerous weapons.
No, they don't, but they're taking the ball through the middle of the ground. You see this kick. They are doing what their coaches asked, which is take the game on with handball, with run and receive. They're trying to get the game going.
Just 2 behinds in 11 minutes of footy, both West Perth's way. Claremont did have a great opportunity a minute or 2 ago. They made a mess of it. They've got it to attacking 50. But West Perth with the extra numbers, and Meadows. Good hands for the footy to be in, and he drills the pass to Hobley.
Beautiful kick there. Yeah, you're right, Scully. Claremont the last 5 minutes have tried to get that handball receive as that goes out in the full.
It just bounced in, I think.
Bounced in, did it. There you go. But yeah, they have tried to take that overlap, get some run and carry. It's just the final touches going inside 50.
So, one too many. They're getting that first handball receive really well, but then they're looking to handball again. They need to be able to kick, but at the moment they don't have the options up forward that's really working for them either.
Ball tossed in. Ruckman wrestle. So neither gets involved. Essentially Mountford in the grasp across to Edwards. Moulton works Rogers out of the equation. Gordon, he turns it over. Elliott. What can the Tigers do? They have just been butchering the footy going forward. Rogers will get this inside the field of play off the outside of his boot. Manuel, normally pretty precise, but nothing there. Absolutely zero. Mania couldn't quite. And Manuel again on the chest. Now, how do they play this?
We've got to try and get some crumbs. You're trying to hit lead-ups relentlessly, and you're not hitting your targets. And there's no tools down there.
There's a good kick. That's a really good kick. And we've been calling through it. There was a bit of space to operate. Mania.
Yeah, a bit of space to be. There's no tools down there either. Like Rogers at full forward.
They got Buller in the ruck. That's
yeah.
Right.
There's only 5'10s in the goal square. Important kick now.
As I said, they kick this. We're down by a couple of possessions and goals, but it's still yet to be put through the middle from Mania, who kicked 2 in the preliminary final last week against East Fremantle. But this is massive for the Tigers, just to light the fire. Mania. Is that a mark?
Yeah.
Has been paid. Has been paid. So you speak of Buller.
Yep.
Here he is, albeit a tough angle.
Very good young player.
Great contested mark, as we just say there.
I wonder what he's trying to do here, though, Sco. He's gone a long way back to kick a snap.
24-15 this year. Goes the angle and hits the small post, which means out of bounds on the full. And this has been, well, let's be honest, a horror first half thus far for the Tigers.
Not that either you or I would know, Zave, a couple of backmen battling up here, but you've got to keep that run up really short with that snap.
Yeah.
It's got to be starting to play in the minds of the Tigers right now. Goalless halfway through the second quarter of the grand final. Goalless for nearly 2 quarters to finish last week's preliminary final in a big win. Edwards out to Bolton. Keeps it inside the field of play. Rogers on the bounce to collect. Normally pretty creative in this situation. Goes with the banana towards the goal square. It keeps drifting back on goal. One-on-one contest.
Free kick.
Free kick and quick goal. Advantage is paid and the Tigers are on the board. A goal to Spivey.
So we see here on the Amy replay, it was a good kick, smart kick by Rogers, put it to the hot spot. Free kick there to Smallwood, but Spivey's there to take the advantage and kick the goal where every good small forward should be, right at the drop. Snaps truly to get Claremont on the board.
And if you get an easy one in the goal square and it's not yours, put it through.
Yeah, don't miss those.
He wanted to kick it though, didn't he? That's what this game needed. A low-scoring slog on essentially a summer's afternoon at Leederville. Hot work for both sides. Midway through this second, the margin 11. Keitel doing some work in the ruck. Bullock says, I'll just go off the ground. Hinders leg speed, always prominent. Trying to go mid-air. It was Lynch. Lim. Close to the boundary line. Oh, it's a good bounce. Claremont stays in the field of play. Falcons, England, comes back to him. Release hand pass. O'Connor. There's one-on-ones ahead. He kicks. Rogers keeps his feet, left it behind. Moulton does it brilliantly. Rogers again on the goal line. The Sandover medalist. Everyone fell over. He kept his feet and his composure.
On the Amy replay, Bailey Rogers ahead of the football. He has a couple of looks at it. He thinks that's going to roll on for him, and it just gets stuck in the stand. The sand keeps going. And that's the treat with Bailey Rogers. He can play full forward as he is as we speak and then go into the midfield and be a Sandover medalist.
Another big tackle by Tyrone Smallwood. He's created a couple of goals now for Claremont, and Rogers capitalises. He's close to the best player on the ground at the moment, and they really needed that one back in the game here to the non-scoring end. All the goals are going down to the right of screen.
2 in a minute from the Tigers. Jai Bolton onto the ball for Claremont as well. He's in there at this centre bounce, hands on the footy. Trying to paddle it out towards O'Connor, who set up that last goal. Somehow got the hands free to Edwards. Claremont have certainly found a spark, but Edwards is run down from behind. Holding the ball and advantage paid. Meadows sends West Perth long. Keitel getting back. Probably should have marked that. Slapped away by Davis. Not up against the boundary. Tries to milk a free kick if he can. Won't get it. Declan Hardesty steps through traffic, gives it away to Bolton. Claremont, their fingerprints all over this game right now. And coming up to take the mark to help out a defence is Manuel.
Good call, Dave. They are energised by those goals, no question about it. Up to half forward. Eastland. Now Rogers, another one-on-one. Moulton gets to the front, takes the mark. It was a poor kick. But the idea is not to isolate.
No, it was a good read, though.
Moulton
takes his eyes off the ball.
Heads off the left. Bolton, Meadows. Elliott was caught earlier. Straight to Buller. Now Eastland dishes it off. Knew trouble was looming. Manuel. Bolton off the outside of his boot. Rotham takes the contact. Munn's there to help out. Hand pass over the top. Black, right half back. Goes down the line. Keitel slightly out of position. Ball spills to the front. Edwards couldn't control it initially. Hand pass comes back to Meadows. Cute kick around the body. Martinez is there. Didn't go the footy. Went the body. Now it's Dobson over the top. And Hinder, 25 out. Nails the goal. Response from the Falcons. They get it the tough way.
Claremont had a chance to go inside 50. It rebounds quickly, and West Perth capitalised. Joseph Hinder kicks his first of the day. It was started back in the Claremont forward line, though. They had a chance to go deep, but didn't. West Perth too good. Come back the other way and do what every good team does and kicks a goal.
Good response from West Perth. So we move into time on in the second quarter. Claremont, the only team West Perth haven't beaten this year. Knocked everyone else off on their way to taking the minor premiership. Claremont will go forward here. Elliott with the kick to half forward. Manuel used the hands against Moulton, then dropped the mark. Did everything right, couldn't quite hang on. Claremont might win it back though through O'Connor. Quick hands, Elliott swings it out wide. Under pressure, the Claremont fellas keep it alive. Now it's Lim up and under with his kick. O'Connor drops it. Really Claremont a bit untidy on that occasion. Aidan Lynch clearing the zone for West Perth, gets it out of play. See a boundary throw in front of a huge crowd. And a bit of afters there with Keitel getting involved as well.
Gee, it looks good with that bank of people, doesn't it? Fantastic. No one here to ruck though.
Sandover medalist Bailey Rogers is on the headset. He's been very productive, but playing some catch-up footy here at the moment, Bailey.
Yeah, we are a bit of a slow start. Didn't make the most of our opportunities, but yeah, like we kicked 2 goals this quarter, so hopefully we can keep it inside our half and play the game on our terms.
It just feels like the last 10 minutes, mate, the game has been on your terms. Run, overlap, handball, Smalls up front as well.
Yeah, exactly, and probably not over handballing, just getting in long. There's kicking into a bit of a breeze, so just getting it in and giving yourselves half a chance.
Bailey, appreciate your time as we hope for a goal for your sake, but not to be. See you out there shortly. Bailey Rogers, and that's an out-of-bounds ball. Again, I'm sure the kick influenced by the breeze, but the Buller connection not quite there for the Tigers on that occasion.
It wasn't, but it was the right option.
Yep.
Just, a skill error, which you're going to take. If you're trying to do the right thing, I think that's what you want.
So plenty of those skill errors, some nerves, a bit of a fluky breeze as well, all contributing.
And Big Buller could have had a day early.
It's been an almost sort of day for him. He wants to take clean possession out of the ruck, tackled by Jukic, quick snap. That one doesn't work out for him either, out of bounds on the full.
So it's 2 out in the full, just a little bit of a misconnection there. Had the drop mark in the first 30 seconds of the game. Just not quite his day yet, but it looks like he could be in good touch.
West Perth with the play on their terms at the moment. Bolton did well not to give away a free kick. Found it hard to find the handle of the football. It's a little torpedo down the line, and that too drifting wide. West Perth to reload.
Shai Bolton doing what he usually does. That's his 17th disposal of the game.
Gee, it'd be a good feeling having 17 by this stage of the game.
In a game. Ask me, mate.
He's forward of the play at the moment as this kick comes back in. Pearce had a couple of bites. Jukic also. Meadows cruising through. They get the chain of handballs to Dobson. Kicks to a 1-on-2. Hamp does well just to make a contest. House was cool under pressure though. Now Lucy wants to come up the middle. Dangerous kick. Smallwood on the end of it. Controlled the footy well. Recovery was good. Brushes aside a tackler as well. Now it's Claremont outnumbered. Arriving late for the side. Buller! Well, he had a lot of room to move and get into that leap for the mark. And can he get his day started right now with a straight kick for goal? No, he's going to give off the hand pass to Bolton. It's an open goal score. It's a tumbling kick. It's a horrible effort. And the Tigers have wasted another one.
Absolute waste. I hate those handballs around the back. They never work. More times than not, they're flower bags running around the back like that. And I don't think Jai Bolton does strike him that well over a long, long distance. Fantastic footballer. Buller's just taken a big crunching mark. I just think go back and have a shot.
Is that Buller's confidence, perhaps? He's just a bit tainted from the start of this game.
Yeah, it could possibly be, but I just love someone to say, hey, go back and kick it, mate. You've just taken a huge clunk.
England, Mountford goes off the ground. It'll sit for England. What's his next kick like? It's not bad for Edwards. He stands, he takes it. It's a 45-metre kick, but they all point to the goals. I'll tell you what, there's a lack of self-belief or confidence with this breeze, perhaps.
I think it might be the breeze. I mean, he's going to be kicking from inside 50 here, but there was a lot of players suggesting you might need to pass it off. I don't think it's per player. I think it is the conditions.
It was confusing for the young man. He had people pointing everywhere.
The right calls to go back and have a shot.
Yeah, agree. He can kick this distance.
It's 8 scoring shots apiece. His dad Scott, his granddad Dale, all won flags with the Tigers. Can he make it 3 generations in a row? He punches it low, hard, and left of the uprights. Another miss, another opportunity goes begging for Claremont.
Certainly the back end of this quarter, it's been in Claremont's favour with their game style. 2-7. Could have been a different story, but they are getting those open handballs. Handball, someone's out.
Do get the feeling if they kick one more, momentum's with them.
Yeah.
3's in the third quarter. It's their style of play at the moment that's dictating terms, although West Perth happy to go into a slow play now, which we heard Darren Harris at quarter time say. That's what they wanted to do, just steady things down. That'll be a push in the back. Edwards Overzealous there, gets out the back, but it won't be advantage.
Didn't need to. They are hard marks when you're running full speed, and you got to try and get up and take that. As West Perth have got a big switch available.
Munns to Pearce. Next link in the chain might have been Rotham. Instead, it's up the middle, and it works out okay to Pecoraro. West Perth controlling play by foot, although that kick bounces on its travel to Moulton. With the left up the line, too big for Hamp. Cruising in at the back is House.
Gee, he's been good today so far for Claremont. Tim House.
They're queuing up in the middle of the ground, Claremont. House had a look at that. Perhaps didn't back his own kicking in. You can see why. That's spun in all directions off his boot. It was hard to mark there for Gordon, and it works out okay for Claremont. Mountford gets them inside 50 again. Gets it over the back of the defence. Pecoraro under pressure. Mania just gave him a bit too much room. Now he comes back, applies enough pressure to make an errant kick.
Oh.
Little inside-out torpedo works out perfectly. And the mark has been taken by Oliver Sheldrick directly in front of goal for Claremont on the end of a pass from Spivey.
Was it a pass?
Yeah, it was. He saw him. It doesn't matter how it gets there, Skeet. It might have been spinning like a barrel through the air, but it lands on the chest.
Have they introduced 15-metre barrels?
Inside out.
Yeah.
With the non-preferred.
You'd take it every day, wouldn't you?
Certainly, it feels as though he saw him. It was just a matter of how it got there.
Huge kick in the context of this game.
Yeah.
Siren for halftime, not far away. Sheldrick, his brother, over in Sydney with the Swans. He's got a big job to do here for the Tigers, and he snuck it through. Claremont right back in the grand final just before halftime.
West Perth have had trouble moving out of their back line. We see again a turnover. Sheldrick in the right spot. Takes a courageous mark, and big brother's up in the AFL. And little brother Oliver's down here kicking goals in the grand final for Claremont.
I'm sure his brother will be watching from Sydney, as some up in Bali. I'm getting some notifications, so
right.
it's as far and wide. This match is being witnessed. The big game, the only top-level game in the country at the moment. Pearce, Ukic, stand start. A floater. Martinez with courage. Kernan at the spill. An opportunity. Lynch from 35 out. The response immediate. Dramatically so.
Work your backside off to get the goal for Claremont and West Perth within 10 seconds. Lynch, great finish. Backed his speed, pace, and then steadied. Important goal. Oh, momentum was swinging towards Claremont.
It's against the tide, isn't it? We see Claremont with the last 3 shots on goal and another 2 before that.
West Perth scored after the siren in the first quarter and very late here in the second. Is there time enough for the Tigers to add one more? They're swooping through Edwards again. Just threads the hand pass, searching for Rogers. Worried out of it though. Alexandra wants to come up the middle. Dangerous looking kick, but it works out okay. Ukic lays it off. Maybe it's still time for West Perth. Hobley on the dash on the wing. Pulls up for a moment. Now decides to go with the non-preferred. An in-between kick. There are a couple of Falcons there. They miss both and it goes out of play.
Yeah, if you're out in space like that, you should never, ever have to use your non-preferred foot. Find a way to craft one on the one you like to use. I don't think both sides will be upset, though, with a stoppage here.
Margin 9. With seconds remaining in this half. Edwards forges a passage. Drives it to half forward. Mania, Siren. Excellent first half of football. West Perth led by 15 at quarter time. But the Tigers, despite kicking inaccurately, 10 scoring shots to 9. They lead that front, but they trail by 9 on the scoreboard. It is half-time in the grand final. The Falcons, the Tigers, so much more linked in this one. And how interesting this one. Between Declan Mountford, a captain of Claremont, and Aaron Black, a leader at West Perth. They spent time together on an AFL list this season at the West Coast Eagles. It's a fascinating story. margin, but very tight, low-scoring affair, the breeze a factor, but it's 5-4 to 3-7. Claremont with one more scoring shot.
Yeah, the scoreboard says West Perth on top. For a lot of that second quarter, Claremont were the team to beat. They found that getting their hands on the footy at stoppage and started getting it going their way, and they took the most of their opportunities. They've kicked 7 behinds, but 3 goals, 7 now gets them into the game, and they'll really start to move this second half.
No question about that. Field kicking difficult with this breeze, but those that can be precise will benefit. We know Bailey Rogers, when it comes to our Maxis tough player in heavy conditions, he has been terrific. Certainly going forward more this year, kicking a couple of goals and providing options inside that 50.
Yeah, he's had 3 shots on goal, so he is playing a bit of forward, but he's spent a lot of time through the midfield. He's been really important for Claremont, especially to get them back into the game. They just couldn't get on the board when finally, after their first goal, it was from a Bailey Rogers cross across the ground. He gets a chance in front of goal just after and snaps and kicks a goal for the Maxis player in heavy traffic.
Yes, it's been a hot day at Leederville. West Perth getting some respite. They do have the lead, but plenty of work to be done. And the Tigers under Ash Prescott. Well, they started this game slowly, but they did kick 3 goals in that second quarter to give them real heart as they enter the last half of season 2022. It has been an extraordinary day here already at Leederville Oval. 2 grand finals decided. We've had Subiaco win the reserves over West Perth. Peel Thunder defeat West Perth in the Colts, and of course half-time in this one. Outside of here, it's known as Footyville. Leederville is alive, and Lockie Byrne is amongst the faithful.
Half-time now at the league game. Stick around for the second half on 7. But if you're at home on the couch, get down to Leederville. There's plenty of free activities for kids. There's live entertainment, great range of food and drink, and some very passionate fans as well.
Yes, they're just as passionate outside the ground as they are in. More than 14,000 fans here. And of course, a big day for our Grand Cinemas Waffle Little League players. They're from Edgewater and North Beach Junior Football Clubs. Visit play.afl to find your local club and register yourself or your kids. Plenty more. Halftime show, grand final. It's a 9-point lead to the Falcons over the Tigers. Third quarter not far away, just down the road, by the way. Fans either on their way to the ground or just watching on the big screen, lapping up the sights and sound of this magnificent carnival atmosphere in Leederville. Gorgeous spring afternoon, and the Falcons lead by 9. We've got about 60 minutes left of this waffle season.
Oh, it's been an arm wrestle, hasn't it? I mean, 0 goes 5 to Claremont the first quarter, and West Perth made the most of their opportunities early, kicking one late in both quarters. It's been a great arm wrestle. I feel as though Claremont did get on top in that last 15 minutes, but credit to West Perth. They stuck their heels in the turf when they needed one and got a responder within 10 seconds.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the big factors here are clearances. West Perth were, a shot clear. Claremont have come back a little bit, cutting that to 21-12. They're right on top in the hit-out, still 28-7. Contested ball and uncontested ball, it's pretty similar. I did feel with the momentum Claremont had, yes, West Perth kick a goal late, but felt like Claremont was starting to dominate that game.
Well, the plus 21 in handball received suggests that Claremont did get that run and carry going a little bit. You do look at hit-outs, 28-7. End of the game, if it's 56-14, there's no way in the world you should be losing clearances, so they need to clean that right up.
Players getting into position for this third quarter, brought to you proudly, of course, by INC Sports Nutrition. And of course, you can pick up all those great products at Chemist Warehouse. We've just been out boundary side, Will, and normally a waffle crowd, very quiet, very much under the radar, but they're vocal, they're excited. And I tell you what, Jai Bolton getting a lot of the footy, but effectiveness and impact on the game. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Jai Bolton does, though. He gets his hands on the footy, he plays in the back line, they've put him through the middle of the ground. A couple of West Perth boys, and then Jack Buller, who's starting in the ruck here, is up in the top 5.
Interesting that Bolton's gone back to defence, because that quarter he spent around the footy a hell of a lot more. So
remember, this is meant to be the scoring end that West Perth's going to, though, so perhaps they think the footy's going to be down that end of the ground.
Yeah. I suppose it's one up the source, and he has played mainly off half-back this year, but you get the feeling this quarter will tell us a lot about which team will be premiers in 2022. Big crowd, great atmosphere. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Second half is underway.
Just 9 points in it as we get ourselves started in the third quarter. They call it the premiership quarter. Which team will make their move here? Jukic beautifully down towards the run of Meadows. Brilliant tackle, though, and that'll be holding the ball.
There's a huge tackle.
Oh, dear.
And they've gone to take the advantage, and the umpire's going to bring it back, which is an interesting call as well. But Hardesty rewarded for that tackle. Spearing ball lands at the feet of Manuel, who just overruns it. West Perth dodging a bullet there. Hobley, hassled by Edwards. The fight continues. Edwards might have taken his opponent high.
Yeah.
Well, West Perth will play onto advantage this time. Hobley emerging, kicking very wide, directly to the boundary. Keegan Knott needs to get there quickly and touch it, otherwise we might see it paid. No, boundary throw.
Yeah, I'm happy with that call. There's no way he wanted that to go sideways. He'd taken advantage and they're heading north pretty quickly, but it's been an interesting, even early, you can just tell the Claremont pressure around the source. Edwards gave away that free kick, but he was just eager to tackle. Hardesty.
Ukic in front, alongside Buller. Comes to Elliott, a hold, it'll come back to West Perth. Nelson, the recipient, I suspect. Overzealous, a couple of occasions here, Claremont. Shane Nelson just racks up numbers for fun in the WAFL over so many years. Tries in the Keitel direction, outworked by House, who's been a revelation in defence. Lucy's the next link in the chain, and he goes through the middle, coughs it up, and it's a mark to Dobson, and, well, you just hang your head in frustration.
We've seen enough of Claremont over the years, haven't we, Skeet, that when they start to get into this chippity-chip, try and use it and craft their way around, that it's just a matter of time before one comes off the instep. Mongrel punt, turnover. And Dobson, of course, over from East Perth, had a great start to his game.
We know the distance will not be an issue even with this breeze. Here's a thumping kick.
An absolute thumper, isn't he?
No angle. Off to the left. The breeze, even though it...
I think he just mishit that. It's a... I mean, he's a strong enough kick generally that the breeze shouldn't affect him too much on a day where it's not too bad.
Jack Lucy had his fingers crossed behind his back.
Oh, yeah. Let off the hook for sure.
It's the premiership quarter. They call it for a reason. You can start predictable as they go straight down the middle.
Loading up Bolton. Gets to the back. Good tackle by Elliott, and he wins his own footy. Wants a runner to go by. Didn't see much that he liked, so just pokes the kick into space. Came up to meet the footy, Manuel. Shrugs the tackle and gives it off to the run of Buller. Bouncing kick towards Mania. A little fumble. A bad fumble in the end because he goes all the way to Black. Did he interfere? No. He did carry it over. Boundary throw in.
Tackling pressure right up. Claremont have nailed 3 or 4 big ones already. You can see there the tackles are starting to level out. It's plus 13 to West Perth, but that margin was much greater early in the day.
Either Ruckman touches this, Bolton dispossessed. Ukic doesn't want to touch it.
Why?
Well, he'll get penalised perhaps. Pearce overruns it. In fact, it was Lynch. Well played by Davis. Got the leg to it. Moulton, not quite. He's held. Yeah, it wasn't a mark, but he was held.
They've had a couple of good one-on-ones, those two boys.
Yeah, and Moulton's won a few of them as well. He's played well today.
Heads off the left, down the line, into the shade. Keitel eased House out of the contest. Far too comfortably now. Ham spoilt from behind. It's great defensive work. Mopped up by Davis, across to Lucy. Martinez got time for it to clean bowl him, gather and give to O'Connor. Oh, they're over-possessing again here. They've turned it over. This is shades of the qualifying final. They're going to get butchered from one end. Keitel takes the mark, and the Tigers have got no one else to blame but themselves.
As we just said only 2 or 3 minutes ago, this is Claremont B. Claremont A is good. Claremont B is when they overuse it, get super sloppy. Through the legs and a handball. Just wasted. It's a grand final. When you fall into that mode of play, which I've seen a few times over the years, they get torched on the way back.
They're lacking urgency at the moment, Claremont.
Well, they need to turn up the volume because they're about to get torched here by Keitel from 20 out. 16 points a lead. And the Falcons are feeling it.
So we see on the INC Sports Nutrition replay, Claremont trying to take the game on, sloppy, no urgency, which I'm not sure why you don't have in the middle of the ground. And Tyler Keitel, like a good key forward, straight back to goals, takes a mark at the top of the goal square and kicks his first of the game. It's his 9th disposal. Haven't seen a dominant game by Tyler Keitel yet, but perhaps that's the trigger.
A couple of times already this quarter, Claremont have turned one mistake into 2, 3 or 4 mistakes. West Perth punishing them on that occasion with a goal, and they'll emerge from the square again. Tumbling the kick low. Martinez couldn't take it. Hassled by Kernan. Releases the hand pass. West Perth threading it through again. Hamp against his old team. That one hurts. and the Falcons are making a break.
It only took a minute 10 on the INC Sports Nutrition replay, and Hamp against his team, who's a fantastic player at Claremont. He's had 3 disposals today and now a goal. But I'm just a little bit surprised, Scully. Eastland had 24 hitouts in the first half, and then he starts forward.
And then West Perth come out the front of stoppage twice.
That is a hat assembled in garlic, so we'll leave it at that. That, of course, is the sentimental term for West Perth supporters. The beloved garlic munchers. Turn from Cardinals to Falcons, and they're 22 points to the good. Eastland off the left. Too many players are kicking the ball with much proficiency, although it's a good mark to Spivey. Can they get a response? Heads towards Rogers, hardly your ideal tall forward, bouncing off a teammate with Johnson, and West Perth will get out of trouble. Hobley in front of Lim, either free kick or a mark. He played a push, but it could have been played.
Free kick, push, knee in the backside. If you're going to give it away, you may as well give it away properly.
What a wonderful scene at Leederville Oval. Wasn't the first choice, but gee, it's been a good result from the aesthetics point of view. Ball tumbles out the back for a stoppage. And the question firmly being asked of Claremont in this third term.
Last 3 goals of the game for West Perth. Contested possessions heavily in their favour in this third quarter. That's that lack of intensity from Claremont. Surprising. They had all the momentum in the second term. Another stoppage.
They've been like that all year, though, haven't they? A little bit up and down with their best and worst.
Yeah, agree. We've seen their best the last 2 weeks, and we've seen their worst 3 weeks ago. And it is, I firmly believe it's when they overuse the football and try and get numbers, because I don't think they're that highly skilled that they can graft their way from one end to the other.
Oh, speaking of not highly skilled, that kick was horrible. Works out okay in the end for West Perth that they've managed to force a ball up. Would have been a whole lot worse there if Spivey had have held on to it.
So Claremont's best is when it is that run and gun and handball receive.
Eastland in the ruck now. Sheldrick, little hand pass, releases Lim. He's got some space. Puts it out in front of England. 1 bite, 2 bites, couldn't finish it. Recovery's good. Hand pass over the top to Mountford. Tries to buck his way out of the tackle. Does well. Awkward kick towards full forward. Pressure comes from Rogers. Makes the tackle. Soccer off the deck. Then he tries to strip an opponent of the footy. Squeezes a kick. Goal! Oh, individual brilliance, but ends up in a behind.
Bailey Rogers, a big bull, 1 on 3. Had 3 disposals, I think, while it was bouncing around the ground. Claremont, though, you're right, so they've got to get that in deep. They invite the pressure.
It's an impossible kick to hit, running at full speed. You said shot's going to be from 45.
Kick back into play, close to the line, and it's out in the full. This is a chance to check in with Mitch Dobson from West Perth. He looks at the scoreboard, sees a 3 and a bit goal margin. Mitch, not comfortable, but you're playing on your terms a bit in this quarter.
Yeah, mate, it's been a good start. Just the main message of the half-time was to come out firing, get some scoreboard pressure on them.
Mitch, great start by you, mate. 11 disposals and a goal. You just need it in there one-on-one. You look very dangerous.
Yeah, that's the aim. All of our forwards quite dangerous one-on-one, so get it in quick to those boys and hopefully we come away with the ball.
Do you just want to be reliable, Mitch, get it going your way and stay on top of the contest, or is there something special required?
Nah, mate, it's just a grind, really. Just grind it out. Mids, forwards, backs, just a grind and hopefully kick some goals, and yeah, that's it, mate.
Mitch, thanks for your time. Goal kick by Claremont, by the way. England from nowhere. They get one back.
As we're chatting to Mitch Dobson, Callan England has played a very big part in this game. Just a really smart goal, knew where the goals. We've got onto his preferred right foot. He spent some time on the West Coast Eagles list, and he's been a huge factor in this game. That's his 14th touch of the game. First goal, Claremont respond to West Perth.
Didn't they need that one, the Tigers? There'd be a few thoughts going through their head. 6-day break, warm day out there. How far behind is too far behind to mount a comeback? Well, they're not out of it just yet. They'll get a second ball up in the middle.
Meadows with his hands on it in there. He's had the 5 clearances to go with 13 disposals and 2 behinds today.
Eastland in the ruck, clean possession. Kicks in the direction of England, spoilt by Johnson. The same pair fight on for the footy. England does very well, gets rid of his opponent, and then hand passes to his skipper. Mountford to the pocket, over the head of Buller. Got a little shove, play on's the call. Rotham with the hand pass, has his teammate stretching for it a little bit. They're good enough to clear the zone. Mountford in a wrestle. In comes O'Connor, leaves it behind. Meadows wins it away for West Perth. Kick will bounce badly for all players. First back onto it, Keitel. Inside again to Meadows. Sidesteps his opponent beautifully. Buys himself some time. Guides his kick towards Hamp, diving in low. Seen him take many of those marks over his career. As the runner going by, Hobley going very, very wide with his kick, but it works out okay. Aaron Black can wheel and go. The veteran from 50, all the way to the goal square. Kernot against Carter. Carter gets it to ground. Martinez goes straight up the middle, straight to Hinder, who can mark, dodge an opponent, settle, and kick his second. Joey Hinder with a couple of goals for West Perth.
Joey Hinder, I spent a little bit of time with him as a youngster and has a fantastic sidestep. One of the best you'll see when he sells that candy. Just a get out of jail kick. Hinder didn't push in, stayed outside. There's his second goal for the afternoon.
100% efficiency for West Perth inside 50 this quarter. So every time they've gone in, they've scored.
Goodness. Just his 5th league game. Joseph Hinder, of course, Nathan Murray, Trent Manzone and Blake Wilhelm all mentioned about coming into the side at the expense of Mark Hutchings, who's sadly missing today with that hamstring. But he's done his job. Eastland tries to fend them off. A little lucky not to go down with a free kick against his name, but it's looking like a tall mountain for the Tigers again. Ball tossed up, Jukic. Eastland there as well. Black goes to ground. Nothing really working in this position. Umpires have done a terrific job. For the ball up. Rob McCaw, by the way, umpiring his first grand final after 226 league games. Kick towards centre-half forward, but Coordinate read it comfortably. A bit of courage as well.
Knife's edge here. Next goal to West Perth. And it's going to be very, very hard for Claremont. Hanging by a thread.
Alexandra guides it down the line, and it just pitches and goes out. Not a terrible result for West Perth.
Four of the last 5 goals from the Cardis. Back here at their traditional home ground. Haven't played here as a home venue since 1993. Made the trek up to Joondalup. Quite fitting if they can win a Waffle Premiership back here. In the shadows of the grandstand.
A lot of numbers around the footy here. Big clearance, both sides know it.
4 players out there today for West Perth who played in a losing grand final in 2015. There's 2 that played in their winning flag in 2013. Black and Nelson. Mark Hutchings won the Simpson medal on that day. Not out there this afternoon through injury. They're getting a step closer here as they're working it forward again. No real clean possessions, but eventually they might find some space. Dobson, clever, and on the ground to Nelson. Keitel has the player sitting out wide in Aiden Lynch. Drills it in low. Mark not taken. Lim, a little fumble. Problems again for the Tigers. Almost threw that one up to Edwards. West Perth have done very well. Gained about 60 metres on the field without any real clean possession. But that's enough for them.
Clearances are tightening up, but West Perth more efficient in this quarter.
Claremont, are they cooked? Look fatigued at the moment. Nelson, left foot, dangerous spot. 3 Tigers up. In the end, it's House. Convincingly off to Carter. Nothing really long to go to in terms of height. But heads for distance in any case. Coordinate in position A. Ball knocked away by Smallwood, legally according to the umpire. Johnson off the ground. Makes about 15. Ball happening close to the boundary. It was a high contact on a West Perth player. No whistle. Off the deck goes Munns.
Clever.
Mark taken by the man who claimed the goal of the year again.
Already a bit of cramp out on the outer wing already. West Perth player.
Not in the Dobson direction. Buller getting back. Couldn't take it. Still a live ball. Holding West Perth. Just feels like they're falling apart at the seams here, Claremont, inch by inch. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I agree with you, Skeet. There's the free kick out. 12-4, but I'll tell you what, he puts this through. And yeah, Claremont, other than that 15-minute patch in that second quarter, I felt as though they were right on top. West Perth are just keeping it simple, winning the contest and winning the one-on-ones forward of the football.
Kicked 1-3 in the second semi-final against East Fremantle. Tyler Keitel, a Bernie Nutland medalist, puts one stake in the ground.
Tyler Keitel, he's been slowly moving his way into the game. Got to the footy first there. That's his second goal of the day. 13 disposals, 10 of those contested. So he's had a player right with him. Yeah, that's it. He's really working his way into it now. As we see a West Perth player getting some treatment for cramp on the sidelines. It's still hot out there.
2 in the quarter for Keitel. Third West Perth player with multiple goals this afternoon. Certainly all before Claremont right now. Buller back into the ruck. Bolton in at the centre square as well. He's shoved aside. The ball actually trickled back to him while he was lying on the ground. The West Perth players don't mind jumping in on top of Jai Bolton. Letting him know all about it.
You got their big bulls back in there, Claremont. No, this is the last roll of the dice.
West Perth, though, found a way to get these centre clearances throughout the quarter. Edwards gets in the way for Claremont. Off to Lucy. His hand pass a little over the top for Rogers. Can't pick it up cleanly. Time to recover. Back to Carter. Gets not up into the air. This is a dangerous kick, but it should work out well. The Tigers are queuing up on the outside. Martinez. His kicking's been average at best today. That's not a great one either. He set it up for Manuel. There were West Perth players all around. Bolton with the 1-2 goes back outside. Martinez again, needs to hit a target this time, squeezes it towards the pocket. Eastland can't mark, roving Smallwood, left foot kick, gets high up and under it, towards the top of the goal square, Pecoraro. Well, hang on, there's a whistle for a block. It's going Claremont's way. Free kick to the Tigers.
Goodness me, I need to see a replay of that, but just looked like a good contest.
Max Spivey will get the free kick.
You wouldn't think you need to block a small out like that, but he has.
It is.
Yeah.
Good decision from the umpire.
Absolutely no need. Spivey's not going to lift up and take that.
Claremont's first goal midway through the second quarter. They desperately need this one, the Tigers. And Spivey delivers his second, and there is a pulse for the Tigers.
Margin back to 21 points. You make up your own mind at home that it's in the book. Spivey kicks his second. 21 points, the margin. Gee whiz. I said 27 and I thought it might have almost been done and dusted, but the quick response.
Next goal. This clearance, huge.
Ask a West Perth supporter what they think of that. You might get a different answer. Restart. Jukic. O'Connor reaches in. Edwards tries the fend off. It's a throw. Should have been penalised. No whistle.
It was.
Yes.
Reserve umpire down the back corner saw that.
Absolutely. And Meadows receives inside 50 ball, not overly tidy. Lucy's in desperate trouble, able to stand, and Carter, who's set up that last goal in many ways with his attacking
switch.
kick.
Yeah, that big switch. You're right, Skeet.
And now House to the outer side. Mountford, O'Connor over the top. Edwards, he's got limb in support. There's going to be a relay free kick, perhaps.
Yeah, it is, but that was just lucky.
Lim's going to take advantage. No, he's not.
But again, even if he didn't take advantage, he missed the target. And they missed the handball, and they missed the target again.
That is what's Claremont's problem.
It certainly is. They're going by 52% by foot, and not much better by hand.
And this is not a bad stoppage for West Perth to get themselves set up behind the ball. If they can conjure one before three-quarter time, then there's something to be said for this game. West Perth, though, doing well enough. Lynch was shut down. Ooh. Tackling by the Falcons. I don't think you can fault it. Rotham this time.
60 tackles to 40. They've definitely led the way there.
They just haven't given the Tigers time and space.
Blood rule here.
Blood rule. Eastland, is it?
Looks like it.
I've seen Jai Bolton in the ruck before, but Buller will come up to do the ruck work.
Well, it's a crucial time of the game to be going off here. It's 27 hit-outs to 14. Jukic has fought back this quarter. Buller's going to have to put in a good stint for Claremont in this It's the most important part of the game. The premiership quarter, it's called that for a reason. This is where games are won and lost, this last 10 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah. I just feel like the arm wrestle, when it really gets down to it, the West Perth big bodies, leaders have just won those big moments.
Bear in mind, they've kicked 5 goals up to now. Claremont, they've got to kick 5 plus in the next quarter and a bit. So,
and the experience and the leadership and what West Perth have got and had all year, it's going to be hard to turn that tide.
Buller gets some nice purchase on that footy. Ball hits the deck. Oh, Pecoraro got the kick away just in time, and so it's gathered at half-back by Lynch. And now clearance? No, chopped off. Claremont able to send it back inside 50. Did have a marking target. England easily worked out of it by Alexandre.
We'll go back to the outer side. Dangerous looking ball again. Mountford read the play well, wins it, hooks it across the body. Rogers.
He hasn't had an easy shot all day.
He's been kicking them for the 4th row every time.
No, they haven't looked...
Apart from the goal line.
Yeah, well, that was an easy one. But
first time I've seen him out in place for Claremont for quite some time. They had 3 in a row there, and that's why this opportunity comes about, because the defenders get out of place for West Perth, and it's a hard kick, but they do get a shot on goal.
1 goal, 2 for the day. Last year's Sandover medalist.
And one that didn't register anything from a similar spot in the first.
So he's had a sider from this range. Boundary just a couple of metres away to his right. It's drifting and hitting the post. Good effort from there. Gee, they could have done with that. It's 9-5 to 5-9. And the Tigers have had their chances today.
What do you do now, Scully? 25 minutes gone, 20 points up. If you're West Perth, you
park the bus.
Just taking the sting out of the game.
Certainly got to be conservative. Claremont will be coming at them this last 5 minutes.
Long ball back into play. West Perth player went down behind the contest. Smothered. The kick was by Hobley. Carter did a pretty good job. It's that goal that turns it from tantalising to, say, 14 points to 3.5 goals or more at the last change. Which way will it go? Lim through the congestion. High ball. Will spoil it well. That was Munns opposed to Sheldrick.
If I am West Perth now, I am better put someone behind the footy, I think.
Yeah, get someone, a high half forward up and a winger behind the play, perhaps.
Yeah, just someone there. You don't want one-on-ones.
Which they have. They've got one-on-ones right now.
Just dangerous when you get that quick kick from a stoppage.
Ruckman go at it. Hobley waited for the bounce. Got it at ground level. Hardesty couldn't control it. Hobley's hand pass, well taken by Edwards. Just stole it. Inside 50 ball. England flicks it out the back for Manuel. He's got Spivey helping out, but not to be. Rotham intervenes. 45-50 out. Tackle was good. Ball up directly in front of Claremont's goal as we tick into the 27th minute.
Huge moment in this game coming up. Can the Tigers find one just before the 3-quarter time break? It's been West Perth late in the first and late in the second with goals. Meadows over the top with the footy. Edwards comes in. Umpire calling play on.
So you move it away from the defensive 50 West Perth and then get into this style of play. You'll serve yourself well.
Eastland, clean possession. Right boot to the top of the goal square. Buller deep. Rogers overruns it. Sheldrick a chance. Loses possession. Back comes Buller once more. Moulton wants the boundary. Dives it over. See that tomorrow in the NRL Grand Final, I reckon.
Of course. Claremont will want to be getting some numbers out here, having someone fizz through a small forward. They've got a lot of numbers around the ball. They need to create some space.
Ball spinning. Jukic. Eastland. Hardesty was there. Left it behind. Pearce straight to Elliott. Wrapped up. No Pryor.
Did well to not give away a free kick there. It's easy to plough into the back or tackle high when they're a sitting duck like that. They tackled so well today. Plus 25, West Perth.
So many bodies around this football. Pearce finds a way through. Makes enough distance. Keitel up the ground. He dropped the mark. Lucy. Now they can create. Martinez. It's a nice ball for Hardesty. He's 55 out. What's he going to do? Mountford. He's 60 out. He's kicked a long bomb in the qualifying final. Gives this plenty. Goes all the way. The captain with a mighty launch.
Declan Mountford, he has injected himself into this game, into this third quarter. This is why he's such a great player for the Claremont Tigers. Huge goal. We've seen him do it all final series. We saw a couple of them at East Freo in the first final. And that is the biggest goal of the day. Claremont outside 50. Look at that last inside 50s. 5 to Claremont.
Scored late in the second and West Perth responded immediately. The rucks crash into each other. Eastland with clean possession again. The Tigers to half forward. Bad bounce that time for Spivey. Arriving in the nick of time, Nelson gives it off and gets it back. Underground kick will go straight to Eastland. Doesn't pick it up cleanly at the first attempt and then turns it over with a poor hand pass. Straight to Nelson. Hurried kick works out okay. Great tackle though on Lynch. Somehow gets the hand pass away. Nelson yet again with possession. On to the wing. Martinez, who's had more of an impact in this quarter, gives it off and gets it back himself. Long to half forward. Attacking it in the air, Martins. Did he juggle it at ground level as well? No, play on's the call. And we'll see a ball up.
I'm certainly getting someone behind the football. 30 minutes gone, up by 14.
They still don't.
Get someone behind the football free. Would be my advice.
Restart Eastland. And there's a tripping free kick. It'll come back here. Hinder, he wants to try and umpire the game as well as play it, but I think the umpire's got that covered. It's coming back to the crafty small forward who gives a bit of cheek as well. 14 points. West Perth have led all day. Up and under kick. Fisted by Meadows away from the danger. Davis calling for deliberate, nothing doing.
Centre wing, 14 points the difference. It's all up for grabs here at Leederville Oval. Perfect day for footy. Look at that crowd. West Perth have had a hold of this game for a long time, but Claremont challenging.
If it's this margin at three-quarter time, there is something to sell for Ash Prescott. Eastland, Ukic, scrambled forward. Spivey, off balance. Alexandra, no. Brilliantly done, Pecoraro. Got the release hand pass. Martins, now Nelson. Helping out on this occasion is Meadows. And they've got bodies around the footy, and Claremont are just like unable to shut them down. It's a mark or a free kick. It'll go back, and West Perth have it. Young man getting to his feet.
Good advice in the background there too. Pecoraro's won some crucial one-on-ones today, hasn't he?
And Scully got some similar advice at half-time from the boundary side spectators.
It's a hot day. Make sure you're drinking enough water.
Joe Hinder with that long kick. Had an impact. The last player picked for West Perth. Inclusion for Hutchings. And there is the siren. Oh, set up, and there's some solid contact right on the bell. It won't hurt Jared Hardesty too much. He's made of rock. But it's West Perth leading by 14 points. They led by 15 at quarter time, 9 at half time. And with a quarter to play in the grand final, it's the Falcons by 14.
Three-quarter time in the 2022 decider. West Perth in the third quarter, kicking 4 goals 1 to Claremont's 3 goals 2. Anton Hamp, when he kicked the goal, gee, it looked like the party had begun, but grinding away, the Tigers found a way. England, and then a hurried ball inside 50, turned over by the Tigers, and Hinder, he's got it all, every trick in the book. And at three-quarter time, it's a 14-point margin. 9-5 to 6-9.
Oh, well done, West Perth. The tackle count there, 69 to 41. They've hunted and hunted and hunted. The clearance numbers equalised there, and you can see the inside 50s are now favouring Claremont. I mean, we're in for a huge last quarter. I felt like we were a whisker from seeing a game over with West Perth, but Claremont clawed their way back in.
We're going to see this game change, aren't we? We're going to have one side defending, maybe putting some players behind, and Claremont's going to be coming right at West Perth. It makes for a great last quarter.
Wonderful recipe for this last term, and thanks to 92.9 Triple M, sounds of the game. West Perth, their huddle. Let's go.
So we'll get in our lines and we'll just get back in and talk about our roles. But the first half of the quarter with our grind was outstanding. Okay, everyone just joined in it, and the ball was going in our direction, and because of that, you could see them make mistakes, and we score goals from turnover. There was a couple of times when the momentum changed, and we looked back, and we had 3 across here that were ball watching. You've got to go all the way in. That's what we've done all day. Yeah. You've got to go in all the way and cover off, or we're just going to get overlapped. So don't sit back, all right?
Jump in your lines.
Jake Harris, cool as a cucumber for 92.9 Triple M sounds of the game. Ash Prescott, what can he come up with in this last quarter? Tyson Beattie is with him now.
Ash, those last 2 goals were crucial. Do you feel like there's an opening now in this final term?
Oh, I think there is, and we showed we could score, you know, against the Breeze. So we've just got to get the wheels on. I just said to the boys, kamikaze time. We're going to really go. We've got to get some overlap run and stun, and give ourselves every opportunity.
Any tactical things you can do from here, or is it just effort from the boys?
Well, I think it's effort. We've just got to have a bit of a look at it and just see how the quarter plays out. But overall, it's going to be grit and intensity.
Ash, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thanks, lads. Cheers.
Ash Prescott with Tyson Beattie. A last quarter brought to you by Maxis Tyres, as we welcome them to the coverage. Kamikaze, don't you hear that word?
No, I love kamikaze. It means foot to the floor,
open.
And I'm even looking at the windsock, and it's pretty limp at the moment. I mean,
but I think Scully makes a really good point. One team, just even mentally, is going to try and shut down this game. Another team's going to be taking the match on.
Of course, you want to be in front coming into the last quarter of a grand final, but sometimes it can be a position that's difficult to defend because you can't take the game on just 2 goals up.
As Justin Langer famously says, the hardest runs in Test cricket to score are the winning runs.
Yep, there you go. It's going to be a great last quarter.
So who's got the first goal in them? It's going to be critical in this contest. Umpire Cam Jones to get things started in the last quarter. The Tigers have come from behind twice this season when trailing at 3/4 time. They're 2-6 when down at 3/4 time, and they're on the move. Edwards straight out the front door, has a bounce, carries it past the 50. Long on goal from Edwards. It's away to the right. Buller, he's got it.
No, they didn't count Edwards' steps.
No, but he's had a spot. He's had a shot right from this spot. Went too far back the last time. It doesn't look like he's going for a snap. He's going to try and drop punt it. Bit of advice coming over from his teammate, Emmanuel.
Get nice and close, angle your body. He's obviously going to want to use his right foot.
He's going with the banana again. He's kicked it well. He snuck it through. The perfect start for the Tigers, and it's game on in the first minute of the last quarter.
Ben Edwards came streaming out the front of the Maxis Tyres replay. He's been really good the back half of this game. Jack Buller had a sider in the second quarter, and he gets it done in the last to kick Clermont's first. Just what the doctor ordered for Clermont. They're within 8 points.
Bit of composure there. That was the difference between the first attempt and the second.
Just what this grand final deserved. Perfect bounce. Jukic, hands on it. P.S. didn't get boot to ball. It's ball. Clermont's footy. Has to be. And Hobley sends it back. Elliott kick. What is that? It's a good one. Oh, Martinez had to be angled correct. It's a 2-on-1. West Perth will prevail. No question about that. Rundle's kick towards 50. And a mark accepted by Ham.
Just saw Aaron Black cramp up.
Short ball. Well, Keegan Knott's been quiet all day, but he gives Carter the slip.
You wouldn't think he's got the leg in him here. It's been a difficult spot to kick goals from this side of the ground.
Be very wary of Keegan Knott doing something magical around the man on the mark.
Okay.
He's got more tricks than most.
He's picked up another $5,000 thanks to Electrical Group training for
this year.
Yes, as I said,
just give it to him at the start of the year.
Taxes and Keegan Knott winning a goal of the year. Simple as that. They're the certainties. Not some big kick, but it's off to the right or our left, and a minor score.
He had every bit of distance.
They'll have to audit West Perth. They should go on his salary. $5,000 every year. He's so good.
He kicks a lot of great goals, but also all these school kids that he teaches, they vote. So that's part of the reason.
He's great for the waffle.
Still looking for his first goal today. Maybe there's something left for him. Bolton with the kick in, long to half back. Off hands, out the back door it goes. Nelson should swoop on it, does. Little floaty hand pass. Rogers applies the tackle. Kick drifts wide and out of bounds on the full.
They spoke about Kamikaze, obviously, at 3/4 time. Now, you don't want to blow yourself out of the game. Now, you kick the first within 30 seconds of the quarter.
You don't have to play so aggressively, do you?
Nah, so sometimes you just got to keep it simple, and then you find one, and then you can go.
Going
like this.
Through D50 at the moment. Bolton, little chip pass to Sheldrick. Can launch from half back here, the Tigers. Sheldrick floats it out in front of Buller, the goal kicker that got things started in this last term, takes another mark. He's had a big day, Jack Buller. Could have been even bigger.
Yeah, that's his 5th mark of the day.
Called to play on as he just wanders in off his mark. Not a great kick, and diving in low, Meadows takes the relieving mark for West Perth. He will start to slow things down. They lead by 9 points.
You can see now West Perth slowing it right down. They're not going to go and match Claremont's back and forth football.
So that might suit them as in terms of Claremont.
Yeah.
As you said, Will Schofield at the start of this quarter. Gordon, terrific mark. House.
It's been a good move, hasn't it?
Oh, he's been outstanding.
Thought about the corridor, but there was a real element of danger there. Not sure he has to worry about.
We saw one in the second quarter doing that.
Again, very few players are hitting the ball sweetly today. Perhaps the breeze. Eastland, Mountford, Edwards a throw. He's been caught a couple of times today, just trying to do one extra step. And they shovel a kick back inboard from Rundle.
He's a pre-season off being able to do it, I reckon, Skeet.
Yep, you're probably right. Important hand by Bolton through the middle. Oh, ricochets off the scon of Dobson. England tracking it back, gets a Shepherd, needed it, and now Rogers. They'll work it out of here from half back.
Tigers again. Lucy towards centre half forward, gets over the back again. It's open right up for Smallwood. Chip past to Buller. Smallwood's run onto the goal square. He wants it back. Buller's turned his back. He said, it's all mine. I'll look after it here, fellas.
Well, Xavier Ellis called it early in this game. He's been all around it, Jack Buller. It's be his 17th disposal of the day. 6 hitouts, 9 contested possessions. He's kicked 1 goal. He's had a couple of out the fulls. He's been all around it today and has a chance to kick the 2nd goal of the last quarter.
This is for 4 consecutive goals for the Tigers. The last 2 of the 3rd quarter. And if it converts, 2 in a row to start the last quarter. Buller doesn't allow for the breeze. And it drifts right across the face and has not been marked inside the field of play. Manuel tried to convince the boundary umpire, but it's out of bounds on the full.
We've seen some helicopter mongrels today.
He was desperately trying to allow for it, but his natural instincts went for the middle of the goal. Here's Black. A ton of time left in this one. And West Perth would do well advised to kick 2 or 3 more themselves to make this a safe proposition.
I'm going to keep banging on about it. You see it now, West Perth just slow ball movement, keeping it down the line, safety first, which is good, but can they win the game doing this?
Kernan, if they hit their targets, they will. Ham on the bounce, taken to ground. Lucy on the up for House. Sweeps it back, Hardesty in the vicinity. Kernan was there, bodies hit the deck. Boundary throw-in. And it's been a terrific crowd today. Such a great activation after Optus Stadium was the initial venue. 16-7-9-1. That is a testament to the popularity of this wonderful WAFL comp.
Well done to the public of Perth. Well done to the Footy Commission for putting the show on. West Perth have the premiership in their fingertips at the moment as Dobson sends it long but drifts it across the face once more. A couple of misses to the Falcons. 10 points. Shy Bolton to do the kicking in.
Hasn't been shy either, Dave, has he?
Well, he'll take it on, you'd think. Especially with the man on the mark so far back. I think he might even sneak one up the middle. No. Goes safety first. Another helicopter.
Yeah.
Another mark for West Perth at half forward. Shane Nelson. Players from both teams have really struggled to kick the footy all day today. West Perth player going down inside 50.
Forwards.
That one's a horrible ball. It gets out the back. It's dangerous. Not is there. Can't take it. Claremont under a lot of pressure. Hurry kick. Hinder! Oh, dropped the chest mark this time. He's had some good moments today, Hinder, and that one would have almost put the first nail in the coffin of Claremont, but he's put it down.
He kicked one down here exactly the same way, didn't he? He got kicked out, he marked it and went on and kicked it.
Yeah, yep.
So the crowd just being informed that there's over 16,000 here inside Leederville Oval this afternoon. The majority of them going for West Perth. House just gets the hand pass to England. It was Hinder sweating on it again, and Buller working hard into defence to take the mark this time.
He's come to life, Buller. This will be his 18th disposal, 3 contested marks, 6 hitouts.
Have they got much down the line here? He's signaling to go down here.
Hits it pretty straight, just holds up as you can see. Off hands, not a bad result for both sides, really. Claremont gets some metres and West Perth get a stoppage.
And more importantly, it's in the shade for the players. They'll have 30 seconds here and love it.
Well, from the game's perspective, a Claremont goal here.
Oh, goodness.
Sets it up beautifully. West Perth supporters are saying, nah, don't want a bar of that. Keitel, hand pass back into space. Black. Oops, Johnson went behind him from Lynch. And now taken by Spivey. Buller's getting brilliant. Overhead, they're running for him. Back inboard, Smallwood. Another pass. Oh, this is England. It sits. He's got Manuel over the top. He goes himself. He kicks the goal. What a grand final we have.
Oh, it stemmed purely from a contested mark, and then Max's Tyres replay. Cal England, 19 disposals, 2 goals. Straightens up. Straight through the middle. Margin back to 4 points. Jack Buller, strong.
A couple of big contested marks. You know, mark after mark. Took one on the wing here, ran forward, took another.
Wayne Carey like where you wait to get down the line and then mark it again.
He played a Colts grand final like this a few years ago in a losing effort. And at the moment, his team's still trailing. The Tigers want to get it to him very, very quickly. Secondary ball up required.
Well, Eastland's just going to have to stay in the middle of the ground here. You can't put Buller up into the ruck.
Only spent 4 weeks in the top 2 this year, Claremont. But they're within a kick of taking the lead in the final quarter of a grand final. Cal England, good tackle. He's played some sort of game as well.
He has. He's had 19 disposals, 2 goals. He's been a really big part of this Claremont forward line. Experienced player.
And one of the few that's kicked it well today, going at 88%. Just looking at the 2 players next to him, 38 and 40% by foot.
Edwards on the dash, carries it beyond 50. Oh, ran himself into trouble. Gave the hand pass away looking for Smallwood. Buller applies the tackle. They pile in on top. Someone just needs to pull Edwards back occasionally.
Yeah, I love it though. He goes north and he goes quickly. He's been a mistake. Day, there's been quite a few, but I'm a big, big fan of him.
Just like him to kick the footy when you got that chance, Scully. As a watcher, but he's exciting to witness, isn't he? This ball alive in the pocket. Edwards, Martins, Smallwood, Moulton. And the last community grand final was a 1-goal thriller.
Yeah,
Fremantle Oval. We're heading in that direction again here, and the exhaustion factor plain to see for all concerned. Restart. Manuel was always dangerous. Hacked out of there by Pecoraro. Keitel. Imposing himself, not a lot to go too long. Anton Hamp is there. House will come back. Hardesty in the vicinity. Ball pitches and goes out. And I can get the feeling that Claremont are feeling energised, and West Perth, it's, as you say, Will, a vulnerable position to be in, leading by 2.5 kicks.
It is. It's just very difficult to take the game on when you're in that position. But now it's anyone's game. It's within a kick. It could go either way. It's footy as usual now, and how good's this?
Tigers led in the early stages of the game when they kicked a couple more behinds than West Perth. They wasted a few chances early, Claremont. West Perth have held the lead ever since then. Nelson tackled by 2 Tigers. Another ball up.
I do feel as though West Perth, though, they've got those big bodies, one-on-one ahead of the football. They don't need too many looks at it.
Eastland done a mountain of work opposed to Ukic. Elliott starting to get his hands on the footy. High in the Buller direction. Arriving Manier as well. It spills out the back to Johnson. He turns inside. Needs to hit a target from here. Johnson kicks back to the wing. Juggled attempt there from the youngster in Rundle who kicked the early goals for West Perth. Rogers missed with the soccer kick. Diving in over the footy. It spills out. Declan Hardesty comes in over the top. And again, a breather in the shade of the grandstand.
Nelson coming off with what looks like a stinger or a bit of a shoulder concern.
Ball back in motion. Eastland, O'Connor. And free kicks are going to be hard-earned in the last 15 minutes of this one.
As they should.
Claremont were 10, 12 behind at one stage in clearances. They're now 3 in front of West Perth, 33-30.
Eastland. Edwards this time jams it on the boot. Johnson going nowhere. Sheldrick tries to strip him of the footy.
West Perth need to click into gear now. The game's on. And look at this.
Nelson, there's the injury. Elliott held without the footy. Surely, no whistle. Edwards trying his heart out. Bounces off one. Goes to ground. Pressure enormous. Eastland, little give. Elliott volley was not great for the forward leading up. And there's a stoppage, 40 out directly in front. Claremont attacking in. The margin remains 4.
Now, there's a man one-on-one inside 50 who's taken 4 contested marks. I don't reckon lacing one out at 250 kilometres an hour is the option.
Jukic in the ruck, down to Rogers of Claremont. He's got Moulton as a backpack.
You can just see how desperate the tackles are getting now. Everyone knows there's not long left.
10 years since the Tigers premiership, 9 years since West Perth's last flag. It's hanging in the balance right now. Rundle waited for it. Eastland's there. Rundle comes again. Support from the Tigers comes in the form of Jared Hardesty. Out the back door to Declan Hardesty. Switches the play. Floating ball. Black's read it well. Makes the spoil but goes to ground. Lucy first to recover. Runs into a tackle. Does well. Back to House. High kick. Sheldrick with the run at it. Big leap. And he's taken it, the youngster. What a wonderful contested mark on the wing. I think Claremont can go into their attacking 50 again. We've got Bolton cruising by for a hand pass. That's ignored. Sheldrick. What a fantastic grab. Kicks to a contest. Buller's there again. Over the back, Mania with a big leap. The fist sends it to the line.
Gee, what a moment that was. Black almost. Here's that mark, strong mark. Black almost got that turnover, and then it was a scrap and odd for young and old.
Feels like the last 3 minutes of the game, but there's
at least 10 to go.
At least 10 to go. Restart, Eastland. O'Connor. Goes to ground.
No prior there, umpire. You can't. No prior. You just can't do it. I'm sorry. It's a grand final. He's taking possession of the ball while getting tackled. Got to let that play.
So West Perth have the footy. But this premiership is going to be super hard to win from here. Bounced off the chest of Lynch.
Kai tells you, man, for West Perth, I'd be getting Hamp out of the way, Keitel deep, put Knott at his feet, and that might be your best opportunity.
From the shade to the sunlight, the boundary throw in. Tension right around Leederville Oval. A terrific finale to the season. Black, kick partially smothered. Dobson goes to ground. Gets to his feet somehow. Conjures a kick in the Knott direction. Black, the veteran, 52 out. Kick was partially smothered as well. Elliott, is he going to be clean with the kick? Back towards the wing. Grandin! What a mark for the ages in a grand final. He launched himself and then he pulls a trigger on a short ball to Dobson.
That was like kick to kick down the park where you tell your mate just to stand up with one and I'll sit on your shoulders.
Just bend over, arch your shoulders and I'll sit there.
Sheldrick just backed into the perfect position. And the mark of the day, the mark of the season in the grand final from Guadagnino. That's a disappointing kick, but West Perth will get a stoppage. Here it is again. Oh, had to sit. Managed to hover for some time as well.
Just need to go flat on the back. Fantastic mark, wowee.
West Perth inside 50. Haven't been down here too often this quarter. Bolton for Claremont, hand pass back towards the line and Edwards takes it over. We're edging our way slowly towards time on, but there's been stoppages, a couple of goals. It'll be a long enough quarter. Probably a good 10 to 12 minutes left in it at least. Next goal, absolutely critical. Can the Tigers put their noses in front? Can West Perth hold firm? Keitel, clean possession out of the ruck. Kick goes straight up and down. Keitel first to it. Knocks it almost all the way to the goal square. Kernet was there. Bolton now, opposed to Knott. Did they dive on it? Ball spills out the back door. Good tackle applied by the Tigers. Jason Carter. Good technique. Stoppage deep in attack for West Perth.
So many bodies around the footy. Tigers are conceded behind if need be. Bolton gets a couple of metres onto it. Nelson inadvertently back towards the hot spot. Martinez. Davis, if it sits, in trouble. Needs a kick here shortly. They get it. Out of defence towards Bolton, who fists it down brilliantly. Did superbly well. Umpire's in the way. Hand pass from Gordon. Oh, they've turned it over. Opportunity for Buller. And he just tumbles it. Bailey Rogers, if it sits, it does. Has he got the wheels? Can he find a player? Off the left. The kick's not bad. Getting back Munns. Outstanding. Saved a certain shot on goal. Alexandra escapes. He's got Hinder in short. And they'll pull up stumps there for a moment.
What a wonderful piece of play from Munns. That was online for a mark and a set shot for the Tigers, and now it's West Perth getting beyond halfway here. Shane Nelson to put them into attack. He's recovered from the stinger he copped earlier. Eastland, diving effort, great spoil. House leaves it for his teammate. Might have been better advised to go for it. In the end, he has to anyway. To the feet of Bolton. Back to House, runs straight into a tackle. It'll be a ball up or a boundary throw in. Ball up it will be, right in front of thousands of spectators on the outer here at Leederville. This is the kick from Bolton, and Munns read it like an open book.
That was a shot from Smallwood directly in front of him.
15 metres out, directly in front. Yeah, could have slowed down, just kept working his backside back, and the opportunity popped up, and he saved the day.
Well, the umpire's not going to call holding the ball. He should have there, but he didn't. And he dived on the footy, and there's going to be a stoppage.
Whistles away, I think. Skeet got under 10 minutes to go in the last quarter. Let him play now.
Nelson, in fact, it was Meadows who tried to force his way through, unsuccessfully so.
Jukic looking to get back on the ground. I think Keitel started to wrestle a bit of those hit-out momentum back into West Perth's favour.
Ball near the boundary line again, and a throw-in. It looks like it is Meadows with an ankle issue, getting to his feet slowly. And the ball heads back inside the field of play. Neither ruckman was alert to the situation. Meadows, Dobson, slapped on. Hardesty and Elliott over the top. A ball up, and even kicking a goal in the last 5 minutes is going to be heavy work here. And that will suit West Perth, of course, down to the ground.
John O'Griffin down the boundary, yelling instructions. The play's 150 metres away from him on the other side of the ground, though. Massive pack of players around this. West Perth happy with repeat stoppages. You can see there Luke Meadows, hands to his head. It's been a very warm day. Maximum around about 27 degrees in Perth. Claremont breakaway. Elliott chased by Hinder. Wonderful effort from the youngster, and he's got him.
Why did he bounce the ball?
Well, things happen when it's late in the grand final. You don't have the surroundings. It's loud out in the wing. It's a terrific chase and tackle. How good's that?
Yeah. Game number 5 for Joe Hinder in a grand final. Played at Swans. Didn't represent the club at league level. Played his 4 games. Bolton through the air. Contested grab at half-back. Time ticks away here for Claremont. Kick inside is awkward for Sheldrick. He couldn't find the handle. Rebounds to Meadows. There's Falcons swarming forward. Meadows goes long. Over the top of House. Drifting left. It's through for a behind. 5 points the difference. And everyone starts looking at the extra time rules.
Absolutely. And there's the mongrel punt.
It is too. Davis. Now, what can he find? He's going to go by hand. No, he steps. Goes to Martinez. Under siege, he releases. Sheldrick needs a kick, a hurried ball. England camped in front, fisted away, straight to Eastland. He can't control it. West Perth in control now. Short ball, it'll be good. Runda will hold, he'll kick. One more goal, it'll do the job for the Falcons. Ball spills out the back, and it's rushed through.
All right.
By Hardesty.
Plenty of time left here.
A goal the difference. Carter all alone in the back pocket. Kicks to the wing. Ryan Lim running hard for this one. Hands up in the air against Hobley. Slapped away by Manuel across the line. Right beneath their broadcast position. Dead centre wing. 1 goal in the grand final. Last 5 or 6 minutes of play.
Does anyone know what the rules are if we go to the draw here, fellas?
It is extra time.
Okay.
There's the rules down the screen.
Yeah, Sharon Duplex, our EP, who's been waiting for this for 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years.
5 minutes of play opposite end to the 4th quarter, and then they swap straight away. Have these teams got any more minutes left in the legs? This kick going wide and sliding in. Keitel takes the grab. He'll slow it right down. All he sees in front of himself is one-on-ones.
Dobson's probably the one-on-one.
Keitel long and high. Direct path to goal. Dobson is there. Off hands, not, goes to ground. Davis, kick smothered. Dobson off the deck with a soccer goal! Who would have thought it? Falcons out by 2 goals.
Well, there we go. Smother, and then Dobson. Amazing. 2nd goal of the day. Just whack.
That's what finals footy. You will be remembered for that smother forever, and goal by Dobson.
Fair recruit all of a sudden.
A Royal to a Falcon, two bitter enemies, and he might have had the final say in this one.
It's been good, 18 disposals, 2 goals, 2.
He takes a breather. Claremont have thrown their heart and soul into this. But in the last 10 minutes, the steel, the fabric of the Falcons has come to the fore. And the secondary ball up is coming here.
It's difficult to know how long's left. 2 goals up, though. West Perth clearly in the box seat.
Nelson's shoulder looks no good at all.
From the restart, Edwards, Lynn, dishes out the hand pass. Mountford, they need a mark in a hurry. Manuel couldn't quite trap it. There's 3 around the footy, but they can't get it off Munns, who, let's be honest, we go back about 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Takes that intercept or punches the ball away from Smallwood. And that save, potentially, a go-ahead goal. Eastland from the stoppage. Hand pass just out, Pecoraro. Couldn't get boot on ball. Bailey Rogers doesn't get enough height on it. In the goal square. Hacked out of there by Johnson. Hobley will be first to it. Shelbury in pursuit. Hobley looking for the line. If it goes out, it doesn't. He played it really well. Rogers tries to scoop it up. Gordon in the pressure. Outstanding West Perth. That's why they'll win the premiership, because of that type of pressure intensity right throughout today.
Approaching 100 tackles too. Skeet, they have tackled their life out.
And there it is. The siren has gone, and at their spiritual home, it's a premiership for West Perth.
It's the grand old flag, it's the high flying flag, it's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the blue. Every heart beats true for the red and the blue, and we sing the song to you. Good old acquaintance, for us, keep your eye on the red and the blue.
West Perth getting home in an absolute thriller by 12 points. Their first flag in 9 years, and the players have been swamped. It is going to be some task to get them to the presentation area, but it has been a terrific grand final. Dobson kicks the match winner, and Munns with the match-saving spoil perhaps at the other end of the ground. As the voting for the Simpson medal is about to be completed, Tony McHale, coaching legend in this town, and our colleague Will Schofield, Eagles premiership player, of course, also with Peel in the WAFL. And without going too much of that, it's a very tough decision today. I would have thought,
there was
David.
no standouts. Throw a blanket over, and I'm not sure where Scully's landed, but you can throw a blanket over. Probably 10 players out there today. I thought it was no one really stood out. I mean, Buller got so busy late for Claremont. And I also did think I heard a message over the PA saying no fans on the field till later. I did think I caught that. Well, we've had a Buddy Franklin moment.
That's been put in the bin. I mean, that's why you go and win the game, West Perth. They have a blanket effort from the team. It's a team effort. It's the typical, after junior footy, the best players team goes into the record books. And what a great game and a great premiership.
93 tackles for mine. I think that's what stood out. Just the ability. They never had a tackle broken. They stuck as many tackles as possible. When the big moments were there to be won, they hung on for dear life.
And we might not get these presentations until sunrise. We'll throw to that, of course. Not only joking, but
if it's a Sydney moment, there might be 2 West Perth players at a bar soon walking down the street.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering there, Mitch Pearce, Lofted, above, if there's any imminent retirements from West Perth. They've got a few senior players, Aaron Black, Shane Nelson, but that is, believe it or not, a West Perth team somewhere amongst that throng of Falcons supporters. It is great to see 16,000 plus fans at Leederville Oval. Optus Stadium wasn't available, and let me say this ground in the middle of the year, I've been here, so's Dave, regularly. you gentlemen have as well. It wasn't in great shape.
But bogging.
Absolutely. Yeah. Peter Rusco, the team, the town of Vincent have done a terrific job. A lot of criticism about it, but you'd have to say that it stacked up pretty well. And providing people were able to go and get a drink and enter today, I think it's not a bad result for WA footy.
No, I love, and I've said it, and I'm in the minority, I love seeing it at these sort of ovals. A half-full stadium v jam-packed, wall-to-wall. You know, you can see the emotion. You feel like you're right on the field. Oh, I love what we've done here today, and well done to everyone who's involved.
Yes, that's the crowd. If you've just joined us, Leederville Oval, the Falcons win a flag. It's been a long time coming, well, 9 years. For them, it's been something to behold today. Their spiritual home, Leederville Oval. So many legends, Bill Dempsey, we saw John Duckworth, Ian Logan, and I'm sure many more here to savour this victory. They were the dominant team this year, albeit by only half a game, minor premiers, but what a moment this is for them.
They're stuck on that wing. Why couldn't the huddle be here?
Let's move the dais out to the far wing. We'll do the presentations out the far side.
You know, this reminds me of the Nat Fyfe comeback, albeit on a larger basis where the Dockers captain couldn't quite get to the change rooms. But there it is, the Falcons flying high. Darren Harris gets back to his old club, and the Garlic Munchers, well, there's a big smile on their faces here tonight. And Leederville is going to be something to behold tonight with West Perth supporters. Joondalup, of course, is their home base now. But somewhere amongst the group of players, we do have Tyler Keitel with Tyson Beattie.
Tyler, what an amazing victory. So much courage and spirit to hold on at the end.
Oh, it's just what this group's about, mate, honestly. All year we've just done all the little things right, you know. We've just fronted up every week and just kept ticking along, and we knew if we got to this point, we'd give ourselves a chance, and I'm just so happy to share it with these boys.
You fought for so many years, as so many of your other teammates had, for this moment today. What does it mean to you?
Oh, everything, mate. This is all I've been chasing. Haven't won one since under 13, so it's, mate, it's unbelievable. I'm just so happy.
It's going to be some pretty good celebrations back at Joondalup tonight, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully we get a few back, and yeah, it goes into the wee early hours of the morning.
Congratulations, Tyler. You're a premiership player.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Tyler Keitel, of course, been a policeman. There's
Darren Harris.
Is that Darren Harris?
Yeah.
I thought he's too conservative.
It's always giving it to him.
It's Darren Harris.
Is it him?
It's Harrow.
Well, he said all week, it means nothing that I left the club 2 years ago. I can tell you now, he is celebrating like a man that feels vindicated.
The old bunch of five uppercuts to the crowd. I think that might have been a bit of emotion coming out.
The Claremont sponsors 10 over the back there.
Oh, who knows? But look, they've done a great job. Grant Povey and Ash Prescott, they're a proud club, and they've made the grand final, for goodness sake. They've done a great job with Ash Prescott, so both teams can be proud, but I get the feeling Darren Harris is feeling a little vindicated for his move. We'll take a breather. The Falcons win the flag. Leederville Oval is awash with fans. The presentation's coming your way shortly. An extraordinary day of grand final footy.
Well, this was one of the moments. Grand finals come down to moments, and Munns with an intercept, a screamer in Gordon, and Mitch Dobson, would you believe, with a soccer kick from about 20 metres out on his old home ground. He used to be a Royal, he's now a Falcon, and he's now a premiership player with West Perth. The siren sounded about 90 seconds after that goal was kicked, and West Perth are premiers for 2022. The ex-coach, Jeff Valentine, who now coaches Peel Thunder, is down there shaking hands with all of the boys. And Xavier, that is something to behold if you're a West Perth fan.
And of course, Jeff Valentine, he also coached Joey Hinder and a couple others at school, so he's got a personal touch through there. Look at the devastation there, the Claremont players. Yeah, another long year, another pre-season ahead of you. Look at those tears. Really emotional stuff. I've been unfortunate enough to be on the back end of a couple of these, and it's not a good feeling. If you're in the winning side, you just elated, and that'll stay with you for a long period of time.
A second loss for Claremont in 3 years. They've been runners-up twice in the last 3. They've lost in preliminary finals 3 times in about the last 8 or 9 years. They've gone close, never won one for quite some time, and there's Darren Harris.
And I'm just looking at Aaron Black. He's just run over to the Claremont players too. They're very good people. Darren Harris, what a moment he has had. Some of the West Perth players getting around the Claremont boys who...
Well, that's one of the things today, Zave, with the way the crowd mobbed the West Perth players. We all got in a huddle. There was no chance.
No, there was no thanks to the game, and I know it means nothing, but the West Perth boys would love to get around.
So West Perth, their 20th premiership. Only East Fremantle have more in the WAFL history. And Aaron Black, maybe his last game perhaps, but what a season for him. You couldn't write the script for his year.
Nah, amazing. In the AFL 1 week, come back. He only had 15 disposals, same. We've seen games where Blackie's had 40. But it's just the way they played all day long. They just hunted and tackled and tackled. 281 disposals. That is super low, but they just managed to fight and claw and nail those tackles.
If he is going to go out, what a way to go out for Aaron Black. It's shaped up as a bit of a nightmare day for West Perth. They narrowly lost the reserve and the Colts, and it was looking a little bit grim. Claremont pushing so hard in the last quarter. But Mitch Dobson with a soccer kick to win it.
But that spoil, if we can just go back to that spoil, Munns worked his backside, got a fingertip on it. Bailey Rogers off the boot would have thought he's definitely nailed that pass, 15 metres out directly in front to go ahead by 2 points. And then spoil the ball down the other end. It was just an amazing passage of play.
Still waiting for a few West Perth players to make their way across from the mob on the far side of the ground. Most of them have made their way across the presentation area.
It was good of the 3 players, not the 3 supporters, not to jump the fence. The 3 that stayed open and listened to the rules. The 17,000, good on you.
Brett Raponi, an ex-president down there celebrating with his beloved Falcons as well. Tyson Beattie is ready for us down at the presentation. We'll get down to him shortly. Spare a thought for the Simpson Medal voters as well. The toughest gig in the world today. But Tyson Beattie is ready for us. This will be a huge celebration for West Perth. Let's head down to Tyson.
And welcome to the 2022 Waffle Grand Final presentation. Please show your appreciation for both teams here today for a fantastic Grand Final contest. Thanks also to the umpires to officiate today's game. We sincerely appreciate the important role you've played throughout the season. To present the Premiership medallions to the umpires, I'd like to ask 7-time Waffle Grand Final umpire and current field umpire assistant coach, Mr. Stuart Parry, to present the umpire medals to field umpire Rob McCall. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed the culmination of the 2022 season here today. And while we have a winning team, we also have a losing team that has played some fantastic football throughout the season. Please join me in welcoming the captain of Claremont Football Club, Declan Mountford.
Yeah, thanks. Firstly, well done to West Perth. Bloody good all year. Too good today. Harry, Blackie, well done. Next to our major sponsors, thanks for supporting us all year. Bravo. All the other ones. Yeah, it's tough. I guess feel like we let down a few people, but we'll be back. All our Claremont supporters, family, friends, thanks for coming down today to watch. All the boys, we gave it a red hot crack, tried our hardest. All the coaches, thanks for the support across the whole year. It's been a long year. We have a red hot crack and we'll try again. We'll be back.
Thank you, Declan. Well said. We will now present the Dixon Cup to the Premiership winning team, believed to be the oldest surviving trophy in Australian rules football history. Each year this trophy is awarded to the Premiership winning club president and CEO. To make the presentation on behalf of the West Australian Football Commission, please welcome the Chairman, Honourable Wayne Martin. And congratulations to the President and CEO of West Perth Football Club, Neil Fong and Joe McCarthy. Congratulations. In recognition of the player judged best of field in today's grand final, we will now present the Simpson Medal. The award has been presented since 1945 to the most outstanding player in grand finals and state games. Can I please ask Paul Simpson, representing the Simpson family, to now join me on stage to announce this year's winner.
Well, both teams played their hearts out. It was a marvellous spectacle, and it was a great pleasure to be here at Leederville Oval. When you think just a few weeks ago the Oval wasn't in very good condition, and they've done a marvellous job with the league. Congratulations to West Perth, and commiserations to Claremont. The winner of the Simpson Medal is Luke Meadows.
Firstly, congratulations to Claremont on such a great year. Obviously, it's a tough game out today. We were lucky to get away with the win. Obviously, shout out to our boys, the support staff, everyone, West Perth, everyone over there. Massively to my family, mate. Love you all. My grandma, my yaya. Love you all.
Congratulations, Luke. I will now invite the Premiership players of the West Perth Football Club to come forward individually and accept their Premiership medallions from the members of your Little League team. And first up, he's straight back up here, number 2, Luke Meadows. Number 3, Ben Johnson. Number 4, Tyson Moulton. Number 5, Nathan Alexandre. Number 7, Keegan Knott. Number 10, Zach Wardman. Number 13, Dean Munns. Number 14, Shane Nelson. Number 15, Aidan Lynch. Number 16, Mitch Dobson. Number 19, Sam Rotham. Number 20, Anton Hamp. Number 21, Tristan Hobley. Number 23, Connell Lynch. Number 25, Mitch Pearce. Number 26, Troy Jukic. Number 37, Tyler Keitel. Number 38, Noah Pecoraro. Number 41, Sasha Kernet. Number 45, Corey Rundle. Number 52, Joe Hinder. And now please welcome the captain, number 1, Aaron Black.
Firstly, commiserations to Claremont. You guys had a fantastic year. We know we're going to see you a lot more. To Dak and Ash, I wish you all the best in the off-season. I'm sure we'll see you soon. Thanks to all the major sponsors of the Waffle, all of our major sponsors at West Perth. It's been a long journey, a really enjoyable one. A big shout out to my co-captain Dean Munns, who's come a long way this year, so really enjoyed working with you, mate. To the West Perth family, everyone who was a part of it this year, players, officials, coaching staff, supporters, I'm really grateful for everything that you do for us. I'm going to celebrate this one. Let's go!
Thanks very much, Aaron. Now please welcome WA Football Hall of Fame legend John Todd to present the John Todd Medal to the 2022 Premiership coach. This medal has been named after John in recognition of his outstanding coaching record and his long involvement in the game. Darren Harris, please come forward to receive the 2022 John Todd Medal.
First of all, there's a lot of Claremont boys there that know how I feel about them, and I know it's hard, but thanks for today and thanks for the opportunity. To our boys, you blokes have just worked so hard all year. Like, you just, anything we asked you, whatever Greenie threw at you, whatever we threw at you, you just did it. To the whole footy club, to be able to get us where we've come from the top down, everyone involved, you little beauty. And to Jimmy Harris and the Wodonga boys back in home at his place, love you blokes, the heart beats true. But let's hold it up, eh?
Thanks, Aaron. The Waffle would like to sincerely thank City of Vincent for their support this year in delivering the Waffle Grand Final. I now invite the Mayor of the City of Vincent, Emma Cole, to come forward and present the Premiership pennant. Congratulations to West Perth Football Club for winning the 2022 Waffle Premiership.
is the celebrations for the Falcons. Joondalup will be jumping tonight. It's been 9 years since their last flag, but they get across the line in a thriller, a 2-goal thriller against Claremont today in front of more than 16,000 fans. A grand final to remember, Will Schofield.
Oh, it was. It was a fantastic game with teams going at it all day. It came down to the last 5 minutes, and West Perth deserved it in the end. What a great season they've had, and you can see how happy the boys are now.
Luke Meadows, the Simpson medalist, due along with Tony McHale. The judges alongside the umpires. A tough choice.
Well, it was a tough choice because they put together such a great team effort. They had performers and contributors in the back line, through the middle of the ground, and then forward as well. So it was a real team effort. Really hard to pinpoint someone to receive the Simpson medal, but I think Luke Meadows, worthy recipient.
Meadows, the medal, and a premiership to go with it. West Perth, the minor premiers, get through to the grand final. They had a couple of tough weeks to get themselves primed for today. They led all day against the Tigers, and they get across the line. And Darren Harris, didn't he get some joy out of that victory?
Well, he was sitting on top of the team, and he might have just given to a couple on the fence, but good on him. He wins. He's a premiership coach with the West Perth side, and he'll be enjoying a couple of beers responsibly this evening.
What a day at Leederville Oval. Thanks to your company, we had 3 grand finals, with Peel Thunder winning the Colts, Subiaco winning the reserves, but West Perth emerging victorious. On behalf of all the team, thanks to your company in 2022. Footy is alive and well. Footyville in Leederville and West Perth, the premiers, will celebrate tonight. Thanks for your company.